And welcome back to the Upside Sports Network. My name is Michael. Appreciate you guys joining us once again. Got some great Wednesday evening baseball for you guys. The Texas Rangers are at home taking on the Atlanta Braves. Now, they've split the series so far, but what a pitching matchup we have. And possibly the biggest headline is the return of Corey Seager to the Rangers lineup. Now, this matchup is going to have Spencer Strider for the Atlanta Braves going up against Nathan Eovaldi for the Texas Rangers. DeGrom, of course, is out right now for the Rangers, and Nathan Eovaldi absolutely has been dominant since he went out. Since the day Jacob DeGrom went on the injured list, that was the day Nathan Eovaldi started his string of 28 and 2/3 innings completely scoreless. What a performance it's been for Nathan Eovaldi as of late. We'll see if he keeps that going. Both pitchers have very similar numbers. Both pitchers have thrown in 8 games. 53 innings, I believe, for Nathan Eovaldi to 46 for Spencer Strider is pretty much the only difference. A little bit higher quality, just by a fraction for Strider. But overall, we should see a very well-pitched game today. And as I mentioned, Corey Seager is back for the Rangers. He missed 31 games due to a hamstring injury. We'll see how they decide to use him going forward. But today, he'll be back in that 2 spot at the designated hitter role. I wonder if they're going to try to ease him back into playing on the field. But Ezekiel Duran once again gets the start at shortstop. But let's kind of run through the lineups for you guys. For the Braves, Ronald Acuna has absolutely been dominant the last few, probably the last few weeks anyway, knocking the cover off the ball really over the last week especially. But he's hitting .348. He's going to lead things off for them, followed by Olson and Albies. Riley is your 4-hole hitter, followed by Rosario. d'Arnaud is back. Ozuna is your DH. Orlando Arcia is your shortstop, and Michael Harris is in center for you. For the Rangers, their lineup is going to be Marcus Semien once again at the top, and again the return of Corey Seager at that designated hitter role. We speculated at the time when he went down with the success that other players have had at that 2 spot, if they were going to try to juggle this lineup a little bit, put Seager in that 3 spot, Lowe in the 4, and kind of go from there. But it seems like they just want to get Seager back in there comfortably. But he's only played in a few games so far this year, but was absolutely raking in the numbers earlier this year, hitting .359 through, I believe, 14-plus games so far this year. His OPS over 1,000, followed by Nathaniel Lowe. Adolis Garcia, the MLB leader in RBIs right now at 44, is hitting 4th. He's your right fielder today. Jonah Heim once again catches Nathan Eovaldi. Robbie Grossman is in left. Ezekiel Duran at short. Josh Smith is at 3rd. No Josh Young in the lineup today. And Taveras is in center. But should have a very good game for you guys. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, the one thing I wanted to point out is Jonah Heim has absolutely been dynamic for the Rangers as of late. He's pretty much been one of the AL MVP candidates for the first month and a half of the year, hitting .313 as a catcher, absolutely handling the a lot more duty than was expected of him to start the year because of the injury to Mitch Garver. They really have been giving him a lot of playing time, and once again he catches Nathan Eovaldi here. The one other coincidence about Nathan Eovaldi's performance over the last few weeks with DeGrom going on the injured list is that Jonah Heim was his catcher during spring training, and the first game Jonah Heim started catching for Nathan Eovaldi again was that game against New York. When that's the day off tomorrow, but Friday will probably bring you at least one of the games on Friday and Saturday, so make sure you join us for that as well. But looks like we're getting close to first pitch here. Some bad news, though, for the Rangers coming yesterday is that Kumar Rocker, their high draft pick from this past draft, or MLB draft anyway, he is going to be down due to Tommy John surgery. Now, we expected there to be some issue at some point with Kumar Rocker's physical, and that was the issue with the New York Mets and why they ultimately did not get the deal done with him. But the Rangers, of course, were willing to take that risk, signed him for significantly less money, and still signed what's considered the best high school pitcher in that class, Brock Porter, that year. So they kind of hedged their bet a little bit, saved some money, and got two really high quality pitchers, even knowing Kumar Rocker might go down at some point. Now, they have really strong faith in him, obviously, to risk that type of a pick on a player who goes down due to injury. So we'll see how he ultimately comes back, but do not expect Kumar Rocker back at least for the next year. But Rangers, of course, have plenty of starting pitching right now. They don't need to rush anybody from the minors up right now. They only called up Cody Bradford to kind of do a spot start to allow the starting rotation that's performed well for the Rangers so far just to have an extra day of rest to kind of lengthen out that rotation a little bit, not give them too many innings early on in the season. Cody Bradford, of course, was lit up in that game, but a good learning experience for him. That's when the Atlanta Braves took Game 1 of this series. Game 2 last night, Dane Dunning has been spectacular. The number 1 spot in the rotation for the Texas Rangers, I believe, has worked to an 8-1 or 9-1 record so far this season with the number 1 pitcher on the mound, whether it be Jacob deGrom or in Dane Dunning when he's filling in for him. So either way, Rangers are really pleased with that performance. We'll see if they get another stellar performance tonight from Nathan Eovaldi. On the Braves side of things, as I mentioned, they've been really good so far. Matt Olson's had a little bit down year as far as his average is concerned, but you saw him heat up a little bit so far in the series, raising his average to 236. Just about ready for first pitch here. We'll check in on some of the standings from around Major League Baseball. Tampa Bay still leads things out in the American League East. They're 32-11 so far this year. They've been great. Falling back a little bit to earth once again. They're only 5-5 in their last 10. Baltimore 27-15. We saw them earlier this season when we watched one of those games live. Toronto 24-18. Yankees have raised their standing just a little bit. They're 25-19, 7-3 in their last 10. So good work by the Yankees, especially with the return of Aaron Judge. And then, of course, the Boston Red Sox. We thought they'd be in the cellar of this division, and that's right where they are right now. But they certainly have fallen off a little bit over the last 2 weeks or so. They're 4-6 in their last 10, but they are expected to be at 500 or a little bit under that by the end of the season. But good start for them overall. In the AL Central, it's still the Minnesota Twins kind of out in front of everybody. 24-20 there. Guardians 19-22. Detroit having a little bit better start than I think they were expecting anyway, 19-22. White Sox have been atrocious so far this year. They're 13 games under 500 at 15-28, and the Royals bringing up the rear 14-31. The AL West. The Texas Rangers are everybody's surprise right now, leading the AL West, even with the Houston Astros nipping at their heels along with the LA Angels. They're 26-16, 10 games over 500 right now. Astros are only 4 games over 500 at 23-19. Angels are a game above 500, and the Mariners have rebounded nicely after losing Robbie Ray, their ace, for the rest of the year due to flexor tendon surgery. The A's, of course, we're not even going to mention. They finally won their 10th game. It's been atrocious. They don't deserve much more mention than that. It looks like we're just finally about ready. Eovaldi in 8 starts this year, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 2.7 ERA, 56 strikeouts to 8 walks, and a 231 batting average against. The Atlanta Braves, just before we get started, come in with the same record today as the Rangers at 26-16. 5-game lead over the Miami Marlins in that division. And here we go. Ronald Acuna digging in. Ron Washington speaking on the radio this afternoon in Texas. Remember, he was the manager there for a period of time. He was the manager of the Rangers when they went to that World Series, both of their World Series anyway. And so a lot of fond memories for Rangers fans and Ron Washington as the first pitch here is fouled away by Acuna. The set by Eovaldi and the pitch. Nice off-speed pitch, low and in. Now 0-2 here. But he was talking about how exactly do you get Ronald Acuna out? Ron Washington's answer, walk him. But, yeah, he's absolutely mashing right now. We've seen him hit 2 450-plus foot home runs so far this season. Boston opening up a can on Seattle, 8-0 in the second inning. Ouch. The 0-2 by Eovaldi. Just a little outside, 1-2. Welcome in, Hank. Thought we'd get back to you guys joining us. This one's tapped foul off the catcher, and we'll do it again. The set and the pitch. This one's tapped over to low. Jogs over to first, and that's the first out of the game. 1 up, 1 down for Eovaldi. Now it's 29 scoreless innings in a row now for Nathan Eovaldi. It'll be Grossman, Taveras, and Garcia in the outfield. Smith, Duran, Simeon, and Lowe in the infield tonight. Lashes this one foul down the third base line. Well out of play. 0-1. Yeah. It takes a minute for this thing to, process it out for you guys, but I'm watching right along with you. You're good. Now quickly 0-2 as Olson fouls that one back to the screen. Olson has 11 home runs on the year, 30 RBIs, and 878 OPS. Tells you even though the average is a little lower, he's still getting those power numbers in. The 0-2. Curveball lifted up into the air. Foul territory. Heim racing over. He's got time and makes the catch. Nice work there by Jonah Heim. And that's the second out of the inning. If you haven't heard of Jonah Heim, you might want to check him out. He's been absolutely fantastic so far this year for the Rangers. Make it 9-0 now. Red Sox over the Mariners. Ouch. We saw the Mariners give the Rangers all kinds of fits with their starting pitching when they went to Seattle, but the Rangers won the series for the first time in like 5 years. The Rangers actually won a series in Seattle. I think over the last, 5 years, they've won 5 out of 30 games essentially. First road trip there this year, they go ahead and pull the upset. Swung on and missed there by Albies, quickly falling behind 0-1. 265, 10 home runs, 30 RBIs. That one misses just a hair outside. 1-1. Yeah. I know you're the baseball card collector, that's for sure, but Duran looks like he's going to be a very solid player for the Rangers. Do I think he's going to be a star yet? I'm not sold there, but he certainly looks like an everyday player. At least going to provide some thump in that Rangers lineup. The 1-2 pitch here by Eovaldi. Climbs the ladder and gets him swinging. Nice work there by Eovaldi. And another scoreless inning for the Rangers starting pitcher. Wow. Here we get Spencer Strider coming out. He leads all of Major League Baseball with 79 strikeouts coming into the game. He is also leading all of Major League Baseball in 15.9 strikeouts per 9 innings anyway. What a great start to the season Spencer Strider has had. By the way, that 15.9 number of strikeouts per 9 innings, that would be the best record ever as far as strikeouts per 9 in Major League Baseball history. Gives you some inclination of just how good Strider has been for the Braves. But the Braves, of course, having a little bit of work to do with their rotation right now. Max Fried on the injured list. Soroka hasn't really made it back to the majors yet. Ian Anderson's down for the year. Allard is out right now. Wright is out right now. So there is some work to be done anyway on that Braves pitching staff. Most of it will probably come from within, though. I'm not expecting them to go out there and try to make trades because their help should come from within. Fried is expected back. Wright is expected back. And once they get that full rotation together, then we'll see what they really have cooking. You got some Dane Dunning cards, yeah? Dunning cards, I'm guessing, went up in value just a little bit, but I'm wondering if Dane Dunning eventually works his way back into the starting rotation. As effective as he's been, I wonder how difficult it's going to be for Bruce Bochy to take him out of that rotation right now. Do they go to a 6-man rotation to give the starting pitchers an extra day of rest in between starts? Do they go ahead and just say, hey, go back into the bullpen? Or do they just, or if they have somebody that is having another injury issue, say like, Perez continues to have issues with giving up home runs, etc. Do they give him a 15-day stint on the IL and let Dunning stay in that rotation for 3 more passes through the lineup while they try to mend Martin Perez. Or John Gray, for instance, earlier this season had issues with his command, but he seems to have righted the ship as of late. Maybe there's a way they can do something like that. Yep, he is still under the radar. Nobody's singing his praises on the national level, that's for sure. Strike one here to Marcus Semien. One thing Strider does possess is a really good fastball. Throws it at 60% of the time. That's the one pitch Semien does really handle well. This one is lifted into straightaway center field. And 2 pitches, and Strider gets the first out of the game. Here he is, Corey Seager. Back in the box. First pitch here from Strider. Just a tick above the zone. 1-0 here. Hitting .359. Only played in 11 games so far this year. 1 homer, 4 RBIs, and was really starting to turn things around because he had started a little bit poor the first week of the season. The second week, that's when he was really starting to thump the ball and raise that average about over 100 points as we see the Cubs take a 2-0 lead over Houston in the first inning there. The 1-1. Lifted high in the air, but straight away left field. And plenty of room. And caught by Rosario for the second out of the inning. Seager's first plate appearance here is an out. Kumar's cards are plummeting. Well, if you like Kumar Rocker, you might want to scoop him up. Nathaniel Lowe digging in, hitting .259 on the year. 5 home runs, 26 RBIs, and a .781 OPS. The one thing I like about Nathaniel Lowe is he's been in that lineup every single day for Bruce Bochy. I wonder if he's one of Bochy's guys that no matter what he's doing that day, whether he's really in the zone as far as at the plate or whatnot, he's going to be the guy that goes and posts every single day. This one's fouled back quickly, 0-2. But Lowe, for a period of time there, didn't look comfortable as he did, or look as comfortable as he did in the second half of last year in the box. Seemed to be trying out different things, and it wasn't really working as the Cubs extend their lead now 3-0 against Houston. The 0-2, back up the box, off the mound, kind of really slowed down that ball. And 1-2-3 go the Rangers. Again, well-pitched game is what I'm expecting, and so far we got zeros on the board. We go to the second, 0-0 our score. But as I was mentioning about Nathaniel Lowe, he's played really well at the end of last year, won the Silver Slugger in the American League for a first baseman. It's the first Ranger to win the award, I believe, since 2013. Tells you just how long it's been since the Rangers have had that productive of an offensive player. You think back to the days of like Josh Hamilton, Nelson Cruz, Adrian Beltre, etc. Those were the heydays of that crew. And we haven't really seen that in a long time in Texas. It's been about 5 years as far as down years for the Rangers, rebuilding, etc., whether they wanted to admit it or not. It was a period of down performance anyway on the field for the Rangers, and they've certainly started to play a lot better this season. You notice Josh Young not hustling to first a few times, not thrilled about that. Well, I'm not necessarily thrilled about it. I don't think it's necessarily anything that's can't be coached out of him or anything like that. I don't even think it's an issue at this point. But Josh Young doesn't exactly post or have the speediest of wheels on him, but you'd like to still see him run it out every single time. But as far as Nathaniel Lowe goes, over the last week or two, we're finally starting to see the return of the old Nathaniel Lowe, taking the ball the other way, worrying a little bit less about launch angle and the load before the swing, and now he's starting to do more line drives. We saw it at the tail end of the series against the Oakland A's, just driving the ball the other way and into the gap. We saw that yesterday against the Atlanta Braves, and that's the Nathaniel Lowe I want to see going forward. I don't want to see him trying to search for more power in his swing. He's got plenty of power there. He just needs to continue to have that great eye at the plate, which, by the way, he's been called a ton of strikes on that other batters are not getting them called on. We saw last year Cole Calhoun was one of the highest strike percentages called against them. Nathaniel Lowe wasn't far behind that. Nathaniel Lowe has kept that same high pace anyway, but he still has a very discerning eye. We'll see if those numbers kind of work themselves out in the long run. But that's something you may want to keep an eye on for the season. But Nathaniel Lowe looks like he's finally getting on track with that bat. Leote does pretty much always hustle. I agree there. First pitch here to Riley, 1-0. Righty on righty here. Riley hitting .239 on the year. That one finds the outside corner, 1-1. Scouting report, I'm guessing, says pitch him away with the hard stuff and soft inside. We'll see if we get some soft inside. And we do. Looks like the splitter. Riley hitting .239 on the year, 7 home runs, 20 RBIs, and a .721 OPS. Not exactly a great start for him, but this is a lineup that's starting to turn in the right direction. Acuna knocking the ball or the cover off the ball. Olson doing a little bit of the same. This one's flared out into right, and this one gets down in front of Garcia. Riley will stop at first, though. Garcia does possess a cannon of an arm. Not sure he would have had a chance if he was flat out hustling for that ball, but in either event, they hold him to one base. Eddie Rosario due up next. One on, nobody out. Rosario hitting .250 on the year. This one's lifted high and deep into right field, and that one is gone. The scoreless inning streak is over. Eddie Rosario and that bat once again come through a 2-run home run here for Atlanta. Ouch. Nice work there by Eddie Rosario, former Minnesota Twin. Finally found a home, it seems like, in Atlanta, especially after his postseason prowess, the year they won the title. And you just saw that one was gone the second he hit it. Eovaldi knew it. Just caught a little bit too much of the plate. Missed with his location. He was trying to throw it away, low and away. This one comes all the way across the inside of the plate. 2-0 Braves lead here in the top of the second. What a swing there by d'Arnaud. Jostles his helmet a little bit. It's 0-1. But either way, maybe this will start another scoreless inning streak here for Eovaldi. This one's tapped foul, and it's quickly 0-2. d'Arnaud on the year has only played in 11 games as well. Same thing as Corey Seager. He's missed some time due to injury. .302 average on the year, no homers, 5 RBIs, and a .705 OPS. We saw the early game they played against Baltimore a couple weeks ago. d'Arnaud was out at that time, but Braves fans are very happy to have him back. Their catching tandem of Murphy and d'Arnaud, probably among the best in the game. This one low. Did they get him to swing? No, says the first base umpire. Interesting note here on Atlanta. They've scored first 31 times. That's most in Major League Baseball. 2-2 the count now. Eovaldi at 22 pitches. The 2-2. Hard hit into left. Gets down for a base hit. And the Braves are 3 for 3 here to start the second inning. This one looked like it was just off the end of the bat. Otherwise, he might have driven it a lot further. But just right down the middle. And again, Eovaldi missing with location here in the second. Got to think if Ozuna reaches here that we might see a change, or might see a mound visit here, at least from Mike Maddox, just to say, hey, let's try to find the spot. This one's hit off the fist and lifted out into short right and getting down. Nice work there by Ozuna. And got to think Mike Maddox is going to come out of the dugout here just to have a word with Nathan Eovaldi. Braves have had a nice inning here so far. 4 for 4 in the inning. 2 runs already in. Just kind of jammed him with that one. And with the infielders shaded anyway over to the third base side. That one was an easy base hit there for Ozuna. I think if they're in normal positions, that one's just an easy catch and out by Semien there. But Maddox does come out here. Eovaldi's doing all the talking here. Some of the other intangibles by Eovaldi so far this year is his effect on the other starting pitchers in this rotation, specifically John Gray and Andrew Heaney. Anytime they had issues with their mechanics earlier this season, he was the one that they went to try to work on things. He would go down there with them in the bullpen, try to help them figure out what they're doing wrong, how they're landing, how they're finishing, all those types of things. And he's a really great student at the game and a really great teacher to help him point out those things that maybe those other starting pitchers aren't getting the same feedback from other coaches that may not have the same experience that a guy like Nathan Eovaldi does have in the major leagues. Arcia hitting .342 so far this season in 21 games, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. He also has missed a little bit of time due to injury already this year after a hit by pitch, if I remember correctly. Let's see a double play, exactly. Eovaldi's not exactly known for it, but he certainly can do so. Eovaldi misses badly with location on that one, 1-1. And looks like the Astros are trying to claw their way back into it. It's now 3-1 in the bottom of the first there. The 1-1 pitch, again, finishes below the zone, 2-1. Well, we promised you a well-pitched game, and we got that in the first inning. Braves so far have kind of gotten the best of Eovaldi. We'll see if he's able to kind of settle things down here. This one's tapped to third. Smith goes to second, gets the out there, and on to first. Do they get the double play? They do. I believe they got the out at both bases. Nice work by Josh Smith. That was a slow developing play. Josh Smith is in there today for Josh Young. Young has been able to flash the leather over there quite a bit. What a nice play there by Josh Young. Great turn there by Simeon and just able to get him in time at first base. Looking at the replay. Ooh, that was close. Not close enough to challenge here this early in the game. This one's tapped foul, quickly 0-1. Michael Harris off to one of the slower starts in all of Major League Baseball, especially after his rookie campaign. Got to think pitchers are starting to adjust to what exactly he's doing at the plate, hitting .206, 1 homer, 5 RBIs, and a .608 OPS. This one's grounded hard to first baseman Lowe. Eovaldi is over there to cover. And that's the third out of the inning. But the Braves scratch across a couple of runs on 4 hits. No errors, and they leave 1. And we go to the bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 Atlanta. Appreciate you guys joining us. Again, we'll be off for you guys tomorrow. But on Friday, we'll have another live for you guys. As to which one, just kind of depends on what you guys are thinking. There's a couple of good ones out there. Baltimore and Toronto at 6. Minnesota and the Angels at about 8:30. Boston and San Diego. I haven't done a Boston game yet, I believe, this year anyway, against San Diego. That's going to be an interesting one. And then Saturday, there's quite a few games that we could turn to, but we'll see which one we ultimately decide on. If you're a Rangers fan, there is the Corey Seager bobblehead going on anyway on Friday night. So if you guys want to go to that game, that might be a good one to go. It's going to be a City Connect jersey bobblehead. So we'll see how things go. I'm going to watch Young closely. Come on, Josh. Is he in the lineup? No, he is not. He is getting the day off with the return of Corey Seager. Josh Smith just turned that double play at third base. So he is out of the lineup today. And you can see all the sun glaring on my face right now. Well, let's see if I can back away from it just a little bit so you can see a little better. It'll be Garcia, Heim, and Grossman for the Rangers here in the bottom of the second. You did see Smith at third. He is there today. Rangers will play the Rockies next series anyway. They won their game 11-6 today. Twins spending the week in LA, facing the Angels, the Dodgers, and then the Angels this weekend. Interesting note from that Diamondbacks and Athletics game. Before the game, Zach Gallen was warming up anyway, throwing a curveball and hit a bird out of midair, and the bird didn't make it. So, yeah, you might want to check that one out on Bleacher Report or wherever that video is. But yeah, he was throwing a curveball, and nailed the bird out of midair, and that was all she wrote for the bird. First pitch here to Garcia, strike one on the outside corner. Garcia been one of the more patient hitters in the Rangers lineup this year, really lowering that swing percentage, especially that chase rate. Another one right at the bottom of the zone, another fastball. As I was mentioning in the first inning, Strider works primarily off of that fastball, has a slider and a changeup. The 0-2 pitch here for Strider. Up and in, but right on the corner, unable to catch up to it is Garcia, and down on 3 pitches goes Adolis. That's his first strikeout of the game. But he is very much a strike-throwing machine, is Spencer Strider. Now, if you can line up his fastball, then you really got something going. But as you can see, things are not that easy against a guy of this caliber. Leads all of Major League Baseball now with 80 strikeouts on the season. This one's lined back to the screen, 0-1. That ball does get on you fast. 98, 99 mile an hour fastball. This one misses just off the outside corner. And I say just, I'm talking like an inch, if that. Just very fundamentally sound pitcher. Jonah Heim currently with a 14-game hitting streak. It's 2-1 here. Seen primarily fastballs so far in this count. Slider, kind of a looping thing right at the top of the zone, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off behind home plate, and we'll do it again. He is very dominant. Randy Johnson, though, is significantly taller. They do it very differently, or very different ways as far as that height. Randy Johnson gave you that bigger plane as far as how he would throw. Now off the outside corner, now 3-2. Great at bat here by Heim. Best one we've seen by a Ranger so far. The 3-2 pitch. Slider there is fouled back over home plate, or behind home plate anyway, and it remains 3-2. Strider does do it very similarly though. Try to overpower you with that fastball and go with that off speed to try to finish things off. See if he gets another strikeout here. This one well inside and unable to hold off is Heim, and that's going to be the second strikeout today for Strider. Up to 81 now on the year. I don't know, my friend. Maybe there's some lag somewhere. I know I got a couple of people messaging me saying my screen time's a little bit laggy, but we shall see. Oh, okay. Grossman takes inside ball one. Grossman's had a nice start to the season for the Rangers. Really struggled for a moment there early on, but kind of came into his own with Seager going on the shelf, allowed him to have more playing time. This one misses as well. Now 2-0. Five homers, 22 RBIs so far this year. Just, and I mean just off the outside corner. Now 3-0. Got to be sitting fastball here if you're Grossman. Whew, got a healthy hack at that one. Nice fastball right down the middle, able to power it past Grossman there. 3-1 the count now. Hit hard. Deep right field. Is it able to stay fair? Is it able to stay fair? I haven't seen a signal yet. It looks like it went foul, and it did. I mean, that was hammered. Absolutely hammered. Looking at the review here, or the other view anyway, not the review. Looks like he missed it by about 5 feet, maybe 4 feet. That was very high. 3-2 here to Grossman. Back-to-back full counts now. This one's jammed and fouled off. Now 3-2, it'll remain. Strider looking to strike out the side. The 3-2 pitch. Off the outside corner, and Grossman takes a full count walk there. Nice way to work the count. And able to get on base for the Rangers' first base runner of the game. Strider unhappy with himself for missing location on that one. That's the first one he's really missed as far as his location. He's been within an inch or two of the plate. That one was about 3 or 4. His first one he's really thrown that far off the plate. And now we get Ezekiel Duran. He's been the one that's played the majority of the playing time at shortstop with Seager on the IL. What a swing there by Duran. Unable to connect with that one, but fastball able to power past him. 0-1. Rangers are not shy about swinging at that fastball here. The 0-1 here to Duran, hitting .292, 6 homers, 28 RBIs. That one above the zone, but chased a little bit there by Duran. Quickly 0-2 as he takes time here. Duran in 35 games has 817 OPS, but has that number well north of 900 with Seager out of the lineup. With him back in the lineup, it still sounds like Duran's going to get plenty of playing time, whether that be filling in all over the infield, wherever they need him, playing a lot of time in left, or being the DH most days. But he'll be in that lineup every single day, it sounds like, from Bochy. And he fouls this one off down the first base line, and it remains 0-2. Once again, Strider looking for another strikeout. Already has 2 in the game. This will be pitch number 30. And this one's fouled off again by Duran. Nice work here by Ezekiel. Rangers have had much better at bats this inning, even though they've struck out twice. They've at least saw a lot more pitches and had good swings here at the plate. Their swing decisions seem to be a little bit better. The 0-2 pitch, d'Arnaud sets up outside. This one misses away outside, and the runner was going on that one, but Duran swings on and misses at that one. And that's the third strikeout of the inning. Nice work there by Strider there to get around the 2-out walk. We go to the top of the third, 2-0, Braves in front. Let's kind of finish up our look around Major League Baseball anyway as far as the standings go. We mentioned the Atlanta Braves come into the game 26-16, the same record as the Texas Rangers. The next closest would be the Miami Marlins. They have a .500 record right now, 21-21. And then the Mets have had all kinds of issues with their rotation. Their lineup now is struggling to produce. Philadelphia's had issues on both fronts. Bryce Harper is back, at least for the time being, playing in a DH type role. The Nationals anyway have gotten off to a decent start for what we were expecting from them. They're already at 18 wins. They're not expected to be a contender, but for them to have this nice of a start to the season bodes well for their future, not this year, but possibly next year and the year after that, if they can get some of those pieces to finally hit. The Pirates, we thought, got off to a great start, but we didn't think that was going to hold out, and that's exactly where it's at. They're 23-20 now. Milwaukee has taken the lead over them. Both the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cubs are 3-7 in their last 10, and that's kind of what we expected coming into the year. The St. Louis Cardinals seem to have rebounded a little bit after their horrible start to the year. Wilson Contreras, by the way, is going to be back behind the plate. I believe on Monday was the press release for Jack Flaherty's next start. That'll be his first time behind the plate in about 2 weeks now. About a week after John Mozeliak came out and said, nope, his time behind the plate is done. He will not be playing in the outfield anymore either, and we're just going to have him as DH. Well, now they've apparently been working with him behind the scenes, trying to work on his catching abilities, trying to work on his repertoire, or in his rapport with the pitchers, and we'll see if it bodes any success for the Cardinals going forward. Interesting graphic there by the Rangers broadcast there. The best starters ERA in all of Major League Baseball since April 14th. Number 1, the Braves, 2.67. Number 2, the Rangers at 3.07. This one's grounded out to short. Nice work there by Duran. Flips it on to first. And Acuna is retired. One away here in the top of the third. Bought a numbered rookie, very nice, for 99 cents and $1.96 and $3, but he won't ship it. Been 10 days. Ouch. Well, who knows? I know opening up a case usually does make it easier for them to ship it to you. Whenever I open up a case like that on eBay, I always want to get something. The whole point of it is just to give the person who sold me the product hey, kind of a nudge to ship it to me. I never really hold it against them or file any major complaint against them. I just want the product I paid for. I don't really care when it comes for the most part, but sometimes you get some of those people out there who just take your money, close up shop, and say thank you very much. And hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Matt Olson is second in all of Major League Baseball with 33 walks. Can tell you where a lot of that power is kind of showing to throw some fear into those opposing pitchers. 1-2 is the count now on Matt Olson. The set and the pitch. Right on the inside corner. Olson can't believe it. Kind of shakes his head and has a little chuckle to himself as he walks away. That is Eovaldi's second strikeout of the game. It happens sometimes, and when it does, they never ship it. Really? That's just bad luck. Usually for me, like I said, like if I open up a case on it, usually it's along with a little note in there that says, hey man, I just want to get this resolved, and I can just close it out. And most of the time they resolve it. First pitch swinging here, and this one goes out into center. 3 up, 3 down. Eovaldi works a scoreless third. So that scoreless inning streak gets right back underway. They show Dane Dunning's numbers so far this year in 3 starts, 2-0 record, a 1.59 ERA, and 8 relief appearances, a 2-0 record, a 1.77 ERA. Dane Dunning, one of the most valuable pitchers in the Rangers staff this year. Looks like they're interviewing Dane Dunning between innings here. Kind of cool. He's been off to a great start. Got the start yesterday. Has a 195 batting average against, 7th lowest among American League starting pitchers. Happened on Ohtani cards twice. Ouch. Let's check in on the rest of the standings. We haven't done the NL West yet. Dodgers are comfortably out in front right now. They've kind of really put a thumping anyway on the Padres over the last couple of weeks anyway. They're 28-16 right now, a 3-game lead over the Diamondbacks, who are second in the division. The Giants have gotten off to a decent start for what we expected to them to begin the year at 20-23. The Padres, we thought, would finally get their act together at least. The Dodgers look like they were right for the picking, and it's just purely mental at this point, it seems like. Joe Musgrove in comments after the game, so we just need to stop talking about how we can't beat them. I mean, I don't care if we can't beat them right now. It doesn't mean nothing for tomorrow. And you can tell just how much of this is actually starting to affect that team. And I wonder how much of this is strictly in their head. They're 2-8 in their last 10, and things just not looking great right now for San Diego. But as long as they don't play the Dodgers right now, I think they're just fine. But it seems like they're kind of their own worst enemy right now when it comes to facing the Dodgers. Back for the bottom of the third, Josh Smith, first pitch swinging, grounds it to second. Albies kind of flips it on to first. Wow! Safe at first as Josh Smith. What hustle down the line. Just a nonchalant flip by Ozzie Albies. Seen that a couple of times this year by Ozzie Albies, where he just takes the nonchalant attempt to throw out a runner. We saw it in the game where we watched them play against the Baltimore Orioles, and once again here, just kind of sidearm flip, a little bit high, makes Olson really have to work for it. Smith really busting it down the line, and yes, it was a kind of a bang play, but you got to have a little bit more on that throw, in my opinion. Get there early, and he didn't. Get something on the throw, and he didn't. Either one of those, and I think he probably gets the out at first base, but in either event, lead runner is on now. Leody Taveras takes high and outside, 1-0. Hitting .297 on the year. He's really raised that batting average over the last couple of weeks. Or about 6 weeks now. Welcome in, George. Lost a series to the Royals. That one finishes well outside, 2-0. Strider started to miss location a little bit the last, half hour of the game. Taveras hits .313 against 95 plus mile an hour fastballs. Well, that's exactly what Strider offers. Should be a good matchup here. This one's fouled back behind the screen. 2-1 now. If you guys are just joining us, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help us out. Please and thank you. The 2-1 here from Strider. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there by Strider. Again, blowing it by the hitter. Think he means the Padres? Yeah. As far as the Padres go, I think they just need to get out of their own heads more than anything else. The less time they have to face the Dodgers, I think the better for them at this point. I think that Dodgers series affected them for more than just that series. Luckily, they only play them 13 times a year, 6 times less than last year, and hopefully they can get out of their own head at this point. 3-2 here to Taveras. The pitch. At the very bottom of the zone, but ball. Smith was going on that one, but it doesn't matter either way. It'll now be first and second with nobody out. You picked the Padres to win the division. You're wrong. I don't think you're wrong yet. I still pick the Padres to win the division even as of right now. I understand they're, 8 games back, 8.5 games back. That's nothing in May. I think they'll be able to get out of their own heads and get back into their winning ways. And when they find their groove, their ceiling is so much higher this year than what the Dodgers have for their ceiling. With runners in scoring position, Marcus Semien hitting .525, one of 2 hitters in Major League Baseball that can boast over a .500 average with runners in scoring position. The 1-0, lifted foul behind the screen, 1-1. Making the call here, home run Semien. I'll make the call for a single. I'm calling a single to left if I had to pick one. Because he does hit fastballs really well. This Rangers lineup is going to match up really well with a guy like Spencer Strider. Strider is a really good right-hander. That's part of the reason why I think Josh Young is out of the lineup getting some rest. Young has done great against lefties, not so much against righties this year. Not to say that he's been terrible or can't do it. I just think it's time to get him a day off, and this was a good opportunity to do it. Get a lefty in there. This one's hard hit out into into right, and Acuna is there, makes the catch, and throws it into the infield, holding the runners at first and second. It'll be Corey Seager due up next. Big moment here for the Rangers. See if they can get Corey Seager going here. I think the Rangers need to scratch across a run here to, kind of get this game a little bit closer. Give Eovaldi some confidence. This lineup is very good this year, so you don't really need to give him that much confidence early in the game as he takes strike one on the outside corner. Last season, Seager had a career-high 33 home runs. The 0-1 here to Seager. A long set here by Strider. And the pitch is about a foot above the zone, 1-1. Curious to see if we see a double steal here by the Rangers to try to get runners in scoring position, or both runners into scoring position here. This one misses outside, 2-1. Now would be a good pitch to run on, you'd think. But with Strider's ability to really stay in the zone, it's going to be a little tough, especially with a good catcher behind the plate in d'Arnaud who could throw out Smith at third. Imagine that's where the throw would go. The 2-1. Hard hit into left field, but directly at Rosario. Just an absolute smash of a line drive. But just couldn't find some grass out there. And for the second time tonight, Corey Seager has been retired. Cubs looks like they've extended that lead now 5-1 over Houston. Good swing there by Corey Seager, though. A little bit late on the fastball there. And it'll be up to Nathaniel Lowe to drive in the runners. As I mentioned, Lowe's looked a little bit more like himself over the past week or two. We'll see if this holds true against Spencer Strider here. Hit one hard, but right off of the mound the last time up. Rangers are ambushing that fastball early in the count today. First pitch, kind of a soft one on the inside corner, tapped foul by Lowe. 20-game on-base streak for Nathaniel Lowe. That's the fourth longest streak in all of baseball. Appreciate you guys joining us. Got like 15 of you guys. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. It really helps us out. Thank you very much. Strider is set. This will be his 48th pitch of the game. And the pitch. Misses about 1.5 feet above the zone. That's the worst one we've seen from him yet. Looks like he just let go of it a little too early there. 1-1 is the count now. There's a big gap in between the shortstop and the third baseman. Kind of not a shift, but they're shading him definitely to try to pull the ball. Lowe hit one hard the opposite way in the gap yesterday between left and center field. So if Lowe can find that grass out there, even a dribbler through the infield between second and third, Rangers should be able to plate at least one run. 1-2 now to for Strider here to Lowe, looking to get out of the inning. The set and the pitch. Oh, nice pitch there. Looks like he surprised Nathaniel with that one. I don't know why, but that high fastball just was able to get right on by him. Looks like Lowe is looking for something off speed there. And we go to the top of the fourth. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Braves. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Rangers. Rangers, though, finally do make some contact, gets a runner in scoring position for the first time here today. And we go to the fourth. Strider is just that good. Thought we'd get a good pitching matchup, and outside of the Rangers, Eovaldi having some difficulties for the first 4 batters of that second inning, it's been a well-pitched game. Let's check in on some of the scores from around the majors. It looks like the Orioles are on top of the Angels right now. More good news for the Rangers there. 3-1 in the top of the 8th there. Miami 4-3 on top of the Nationals. Yankees and Toronto scoreless. Boston on top of the Mariners 9-1. Rays 1-0 right now over the Mets. Yikes if you're a Mets fan. Things just not getting easy for you going against one of the best teams in all of baseball here early in the season. Cardinals off to a 1-0 lead here against the Brewers with the bases loaded in the 4th there. Our game, 2-0 Braves over the Rangers right now. Cubs 5-1 and still at the plate right now in the 3rd inning against the Astros. Guardians tied at 1 against the White Sox. Earlier today, the Pirates took care of business against the Tigers 8-0. We saw the Rockies defeat the Reds 11-6. Dodgers 7, Twins 3. Diamondbacks 5, Oakland 3. Philadelphia lost against the Giants 4-7. And the Padres lost against the Royals 4-3. Looks like we're just getting back from commercial break. Eovaldi through 3 innings has thrown 36 pitches. He's been very economical with his work over the last 3 weeks anyway. Kind of more of the same here today. It'll be Austin Riley who came around to score in that second inning after getting a base hit into shallow right field last time up, raising his average to 244 on the season. Takes strike 1 there. 0-1. The set and the pitch. Down in the dirt. Mighty swing there by Riley, just unable to catch up with it. Looks like he was sitting for a pitch, not necessarily on location. 7 homers, 20 RBIs. The set by Eovaldi. The 0-2 pitch. right on the outside corner, just tattooed it there. Nice work by Eovaldi. And a 3-pitch strikeout there to begin things here in the top of the 4th. Eddie Rosario, who hit that 2-run home run into right field anyway, the last time he came up, has both of the RBIs here today because of that one mighty swing. Due up next. And wonder if they try to pitch him primarily away. This one well inside. Maybe back him off that outside corner a little bit. See if they can try to sneak in a fastball or two on the outer half of the plate. 1-0 the count. And the pitch just off the outside corner. Nice curveball there. Just didn't quite bend it back over enough. That was Rosario's 4th home run of the year back in that 2nd inning. Eovaldi misses once again, just a little bit low and away there. And it's now 3-0 here to Rosario. The 3-0. Right at the outside corner, right at the bottom of the zone. Rosario thought it was ball 4. Took a couple of steps toward first and says, okay, I guess. 3-1 now the count. This one's popped up in the air. Down the third base line. Over for a look is Smith and has room and makes the catch. Not sure if that hit the netting first or not, but either way, that's an out there. Doesn't look like it hit the netting, but Rosario unhappy with that at bat. Thought he had worked the walk, and instead he's going back to the dugout. Smith's played some good defense here so far in place of Josh Young. Young has played incredible defense so far for the Rangers, as he's still getting used to the Major League ball, but he's performed very well there. As they show the replay there. It didn't quite get to the netting. And just enough room for Smith to lean over the railing and make the catch. d'Arnaud is up. Eovaldi misses about 1.5 feet outside with that one. 1-0 the count. Reached on a single back in the 2nd after that home run from Rosario. Kind of kept those wheels churning anyway for that Braves lineup. This one on the inner half of the plate. Swung on and missed. Now that was a mighty rip. Maybe that's d'Arnaud's strategy early in the count. Really load up on the swing. That's the 2nd at bat we've seen that from d'Arnaud. 1-1's the count. Raised his average to .318 with that base hit last time. The 1-1. Right down Broadway, and it's quickly 1-2. Eovaldi 1 strike away here from ending the top half of the 4th here for the Braves. The 1-2. Misses low and inside, about 3-4 inches below the zone there. Evens it up 2-2. Eovaldi working very quickly here. The set and the pitch. Little tapper out to Duran. Couple hops and an easy flip bomb to first. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Braves. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Rangers. It'll be Garcia, Heim, and Grossman due for the Rangers. Garcia and Heim and Grossman really all worked the count really well against Strider. Their first time through the lineup had some really good at-bats, but it did end up with Strider getting the strikeout of both Garcia and Heim. Grossman did work the walk, so we'll see if they once again work the count or if they try to ambush the fastball this time through the order. But if you guys haven't hit that like button already, please do so. We would really appreciate that. You guys have no idea how helpful that is, so if you wouldn't mind, hit that button, and thank you very much. We appreciate it. Just to check in on that Astros game, I know we got a lot of Rangers fans anxious about that score. Looks like it's now to the bottom of the 3rd there. Cubs in front 5-1. Let's just check in on that score real quick. Let's look at the summary. Dansby Swanson tripled in one of the hitters. Sacrifice fly by Happ made it 2-0. Suzuki had a solo home run, made it 3-0. Bregman hit a home run, 3-1. Suzuki hit another home run, a 2-run shot, And this time we see Bregman strike out. So no, not a second home run for Bregman there. So Suzuki playing well for the Cubs there. Let's get back to our Rangers game as we're about to get out of commercial break here in just a moment. Your scoring summary is all done in one hit. That was Eddie Rosario hitting that 2-run home run in the top of the second, ending the scoreless inning streak from Nathan Eovaldi at 29 2/3 innings. Garcia digging in. Strider at 50 pitches through 3 innings so far. Garcia loading up for a fastball there, unable to hold back his swing. And that slider finished about a foot outside of the zone, but strike one is called. Why not go back to the well? This one a little further outside, and it's now 1-1. Nice pick there by d'Arnaud. So far this season, the Rangers have 11 innings of 5+ runs. In an inning anyway. Just a great offensive performance by the Rangers. This one's driven high, deep to right field. And gone! Adolis Garcia continues his massive power surge. His 45th RBI of the season, his 12th home run, leads the majors in RBIs this year. What a great season he's off to. 102 off the bat, 376 feet, and it's now a 2-1 ball game as he stomps on home plate, as is his custom. And it's now a 2-1 ball game, Braves in front. Doesn't look like he got all of it. Just look at that bat speed through the zone. He knew it was gone off the bat, but even with him not getting all of it, he was able to muscle it about 3 rows back into right field. Just great work there. Heim gets a hefty swing at this one, but lifts it behind the plate, foul, 0-1. Just look at Adolis Garcia. The changes he's made as far as offense are concerned, he's been great. 25 RBIs in his last 24 games. He's on a pace to hit over 166 RBIs this season. Just absolutely ridiculous numbers. Just for a reference anyway, the Major League leaders last year, Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso had 131, 133, something like that. Nice off-speed pitch there. Changeup on the outside corner. Swung on and missed by Heim. 1-2. 14-game hitting streak for Heim, hitting .356 during this run, 4 doubles and a couple of home runs. This one just off the outside corner. 12 RBIs during that stretch as well. The 2-2. This one bounces in there, and it's now 3-2. Full count to Jonah Heim. Once again going full with Spencer Strider. Another good at-bat here by the middle of the Rangers order. Just making Strider work for it. The 3-2 pitch. Little high and outside, and that'll be another walk here. Strider's had given up a couple of walks so far. That home run to Garcia, and the Rangers' approach just seems to be working. They're ambushing the fastball whenever it's in their zone, and that middle of the Rangers lineup is really forcing him to throw some pitches. Especially with the issues the Braves have had keeping starters healthy. You'd like to see him go a little further into the game. Cubs take a 6-1 lead now in that one. Grossman digs in. Nice off-speed pitch, low and in. Able to get Grossman to swing at it. Grossman, 5 extra base hits in his last 7 games. Those power numbers are coming around. Had a walk his first time through. They go back to that same pitch, and this one he lays off of. It's now 1-1. Strider looks a little unhappy with himself as far as where he's missing with his location. Still a very effective pitcher, though. The 1-1. Hard hit just past the glove of Olson. This one goes into right. Acuna comes up throwing to third. Heim is in there at third. It'll be runners at first and third with nobody out. Rangers pulling a little bit of the Atlanta Braves strategy from the 90s and 2000s on them, going first to third. That looked like it just squeaked under the glove of Olson. Nice strong throw by Acuna. Just right on the money. Heim just able to get there a little bit in front of the throw. Looks like we're going to have a mound visit here. I'm sure the Braves would love to see Strider at least get through 6 innings today. Duran coming up. He's been absolutely hammering pretty much everything he sees at the plate lately. Hit a 443-foot home run last night, the longest home run of his career. First pitch here to Duran. This one's grounded down the first base line under the glove of Olson. This is going to be a double into the corner. Grossman stops at third. The Rangers, however, tie it here at 2 runs apiece. Nobody out. Runners at second and third, and Rangers are again looking to add another crooked number on the scoreboard. 2 runs already in this inning. We promised you a pitcher's duel, but so far, when they're missing location, the bats are not missing on either side. So, nice work there by the Rangers, manufacturing a couple here. Appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you drop us a like and hit that subscribe. Good game so far. Tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Braves and Rangers. My 2 favorite teams when I was growing up. So I certainly was tempted to go to this series. If Jacob deGrom had been healthy, I probably would have gone to the Tuesday game. Even though it would have been a bullpen game. Just because I still haven't gone to a Rangers game with Jacob deGrom on the mound. But I was thinking about going to that one. Held off, though. Waiting for deGrom to get back healthy. Josh Smith, who reached on an infield single the last time, kind of a nonchalant play by Albies. This one's grounded hard down the first base line, but foul. Smith has really started to play well as of late, hitting .389 in his last 8 games. Started the season rather abysmally at the plate. His on-base percentage ridiculously high, able to work the walk. He's been hit by a bunch of pitches as well. So his on-base percentage is really high as a result. The 0-1. That one misses about an inch or 2 off the plate, north of the zone. 1-1. Strider unhappy that he's missing location a little bit here. You can see he's a little bit red in the face now. The 1-1 pitch. This one, fastball, misses well, or looks like it was supposed to be a changeup, just bounced in the dirt, kind of overthrew that one. Pitches by inning, 8 in the first, 23 in the second, 19 in the third, and already up to 16 here in the 4th with nobody out. 66 pitches so far. The 2-1. Right on the inside corner, lifted high but foul. About 20 rows foul down the first base line, excuse me. Smith did a nice job turning on that one, but unable to keep it fair. The 2-2 pitch here to Josh Smith. Another one right on the outside corner, but foul. Lifted down the third base line this time. Smith hanging tough. Nice approach here by Josh Smith in this at-bat, making him work a little bit. Already a successful one here for Smith. This is the 6th pitch at the at-bat. The 2-2. This one's fouled off once again. Fastball in the inner half of the plate this time. Lifted back behind the screen. And we'll do it again. This will be his 70th pitch of the night. Got to think he's not going to make it through 6 innings. He'd be lucky to make it through 5 if he gets the 3 outs here in the 4th. But the Rangers certainly threatening to add some more. The 2-2 pitch. Right at the top of the zone, a little bit north of it. Fouled, tipped into the glove of d'Arnaud. He holds on for the 5th strikeout of the game for Strider. Leody Taveras coming up next. 404 average in his last 13. And as we mentioned earlier, has a really high batting average against 95-plus mile-an-hour fastballs. We'll see if that is something he's able to work to his advantage once again. Worked a walk his first time through. This one's off the outside corner by about 3 inches. Looks like the Braves are going to get the bullpen going. Jesse Chavez, the former Ranger, the former two-time Texas Ranger, is going to get loose out there for Atlanta. 1-0 now on Taveras. Right at the top of the zone. Nice pitch there by Strider. If he's able to locate that pitch, that's when he's absolutely at his best. Taveras unable to catch up to that one. 1-1 is the count now. Ooh, Taveras did not miss that fastball by much. Got a very mighty swing at that one. He takes time here after just missing that one. It's now 1-2 here. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The set and the pitch. This one's lifted into center. Is it going to get down? It will for a base hit in front of Harris. Grossman scores. The throw going home is on time. Did they get the runner? They say he did. What a nice play by Michael Harris and d'Arnaud. That was a bang-bang play. Got to look at that replay again. Rangers are saying, hold up. Let's see if the runner actually did cross. Venable is on the phone with the replay office. Remember, you only got 15 seconds to decide. But either way, Rangers now lead 3-2. Could be 4-2 if that run does go across, if they replay this and he is safe. We shall see. What a nice throw by Michael Harris. Just comes up and throws an absolute dart to home plate. And looking at the replay, oh, that was darn close. I don't know if there's clear and conclusive evidence. Got hit in the face by d'Arnaud's glove just a little bit on the head first slide. The Rangers opt not to challenge it. They do have the 3-2 lead. Semien first ball swinging, pops this one up. And Arcia makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the 3rd out of the inning. 3-2 through 4 innings. Rangers in front, but they get the crooked number on the board. The home run by Garcia, and then they manufacture a couple more runs. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Atlanta. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Texas. We go to the 5th. Welcome in, Josue. Appreciate it. Glad you like the stream. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. It really helps. So thank you guys for joining us. Check in on some of the other scores from around the league right now. Boston's still winning 9-1. Threatening to score a couple more in the bottom of the 5th there. Yankees and Blue Jays still scoreless in the 8th. Mets have come back to tie it now. It's 2-2 against the Tampa Bay Rays in the 8th inning now. Cardinals still winning 1-0 over the Brewers. We just saw the Rangers take the lead now against the Braves 3-2. Scoreboard's looking very nice if you're a Rangers fan right now. A lot of the teams in your own division losing while you're winning. Cubs leading 6-1 over Houston, threatening to score a couple more in the top of the 4th there. White Sox have opened up a little bit now on the Guardians, now lead 4-1. As we mentioned earlier, Pirates won earlier today 8-0 over the Tigers. Rockies 11, Reds 6. Twins 3, Dodgers 7. The A's lose 5-3 once again. The interesting part from that game is what happened before the game even started. We just saw another crooked number. It's now 11-1, Boston in front. Anyway, the interesting part before that game was the curveball thrown by the Diamondback starting pitcher before the game, while he was in the pregame warm-ups anyway, and the curveball struck a bird out of midair. The bird didn't make it. But very unique video if you want to check that out on Bleacher Report or wherever you look at some of those videos anyway. Very interesting thing to see. Literally nailed it out of midair. So just an interesting moment there. Phillies lose 4-7 against the Giants. And then once again the Padres lose against the Royals 4-3. Baltimore wins over the Angels 3-1. Miami holds on and beats the Nationals 4-3. Looks like we're back here for the 5th inning. First pitch is a strike here by Eovaldi to Ozuna. He was the last one to get a hit off of Eovaldi. 6 home runs for Ozuna his last 9 games. Power numbers coming around a little bit for him. This is the one spot in the lineup I think the Braves could use an addition at some point, whether that be at the trade deadline or whatever they decide to do. A guy hitting 180 right now and purely, just being a home run threat isn't exactly enough. I think the Braves would like to have more of a contact hitter in this lineup, but we shall see. The 2-1 pitch grounded to second. Semien makes the play on to first for one away. Ozuna, I don't think, is a bad option to have on your team, but with all the off-the-field issues that he's had there in Atlanta, all the money that they've had to pay for him, they just haven't gotten their best bang for their buck since they signed him, and I think they'd be best to try to go out there and get another bat for that lineup at the trade deadline. I think they got the pieces in the bullpen this year. I think their rotation will be fine once they get people healthy, and they're going to get a lot of people experience right now because those guys are out, so they should have some nice depth as they go into August and September. But for right now, I think their biggest glaring weakness right now on this roster is at DH. They're using one of the two catchers there half the time. Ozuna isn't a good enough option every day to get that spot. Could he still be your fourth or fifth outfielder? Sure. But if you're counting on him to be your thump in the bottom of that lineup every single day, I think you're asking a little much. 1-1 here to Arcia as he grounds it back to Eovaldi. Makes a nice play onto first. Pitcher's fielding practice, just PFP, that they do in spring training. Just nice work there. We saw Andrew Heaney, I believe, do kind of a bare hand attempt at one earlier. In the last series the Rangers played against the A's on a comebacker, just a nice soft tapper back to the mound, just barehanded, and turned a double play, I believe. A 1-2-3 double play to kind of get them out of a really tough jam. Or was that earlier? Or was that game one? Maybe it was game one of this series. I can't remember. No, it was Sunday. 1-1 here to Harris. 9 ground ball out so far for Eovaldi in this one. That's really high for him. And make it 10 as this one's grounded too low. And he's going to take it himself for the third out of the inning. Nice work there by Eovaldi. A really quick inning. Looking at his numbers right now, he's only thrown 59 pitches through 5. Strider, for just frame of reference, 75 to get through 4. So I think this might be Strider's last inning of work, depending on how strenuous the inning is. If they make him work, throw 20, 25 pitches, I think that's all we'll see of Strider here today. Whereas Eovaldi right now, I think he's on track to probably throw between 7 and 8 innings right now, depending on how his next few innings go. But Eovaldi kind of rebounded nicely from that second inning. We'll see if Strider can do the same after his rough 4th inning. It'll be Seager, Lowe, and Garcia for the Rangers. Would like to see Corey Seager get his first hit since his injury here. He went 2 for 8 when he was in the minors while he was trying to ramp up his activity before coming up to the big leagues as he recovered from his hamstring injury. If you get to watch the replay of the injury of how he actually tore it, just absolutely kind of laced one out into left field and looked like he had a stand-up triple because of the way that the defense was spun around. They only had 2 outfielders at that moment because they were trying to do a kind of an outfield shift, if you will, and it just didn't work out to their advantage. Seager pulled up between first and second and just he knew it immediately, called for time and walked off the field, and that was the last time we saw him in a Rangers uniform until today. Just getting back from commercial break. Strider back out there once again. Leaderboard for strikeouts on that 4-seam fastball. Strider sits second in all of Major League Baseball with 43. Garrett Cole at first with 45. Seager unable to lead or hold off on that one. Chases that one in the dirt. 0-1. Looks like that slider is just not quite as crisp today. That one bounces in front of the other batter, or in front of Corey Seager's batter's box, off the glove, and into the dugout of the Rangers. That one was a wild carom. 1-1 is the count. Nice changeup right at the bottom of the zone. 1-2. See if he goes with a fastball here. And it is. A little bit outside, though. Not close enough to be competitive. Chavez looks like he's ready out in that bullpen. Should Strider get into trouble this inning. This will be his 80th pitch of the night here to Corey Seager. Count is 2-2. Strider wears number 99. The set and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Chased that one low and in. And Strider gets yet another strikeout. 6 strikeouts in the game so far for Strider. Nathaniel Lowe due up next. Rays take a 4-2 lead now on the Mets. Interesting there. But Seager trying to work his way back into game shape right now. Curious to see that they didn't try to start him out in a different spot, especially with how successful this lineup has been. First pitch here to Lowe. Little tapper out to second base. Albies this time charges it, makes a nice throw over to first. No nonchalant in that one. I'm sure the Ron Washington, the Braves third base coach and fielding coordinator, gave him an earful on that earlier infield single that we saw from Josh Smith. Adolis Garcia, 1 for 2 in the game so far today. Hit that home run that he didn't get all of, but enough to get it out towards right field and about 3 rows back. I would if I could, my friend. That's as far as the pitches where they're landing, the way they've got their scoreboard, it doesn't show for some reason. I've never figured out how they're able, or how to get this thing fixed. Let me see if that'll let me do. Nope. It won't show where the pitchers are landing, unfortunately, on this one. 0-1 here to Garcia. 82 pitches in the game so far to Strider, or for Strider anyway. Nice fastball, fouled off by Garcia. Garcia nods at that one. 255 average, 12 homers, 45 RBIs, and an 841 OPS. Another slider here from Strider. Misses well outside. That slider has not been very effective ever since that second inning. Hasn't been able to locate it. Misses about 1.5 feet outside. The 1-2 pitch by Strider. Crushed! Dead center field! Gone! Not even going to wait for it to go. Into the Rangers bullpen. Garcia knew it was gone again. This man is unstoppable right now with that power. 13th home run of the year. That's second home run in the game for Garcia. That's back-to-back home runs and back-to-back at-bats anyway for Garcia. It's now a 4-2 ball game. That one was gone. He got that one. You knew he didn't miss that. And stomps on home plate once again. Garcia is fired up. And the Rangers now lead it 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Got to think this is going to be it for Strider here after this inning. Wonder if he let him pitch to Heim. Doesn't look like they're going to pull him as of yet. Looks like they will let him face just a little tapper out here. This one goes foul, just foul. Kind of a slow hopper anyway out towards first base and just managed to go foul in time. But this pitch was up and Garcia did not miss it. What a nice piece of hitting there by Adolis Garcia. Just chef's kiss. Great piece of hitting there. Wow. I wonder if was he saying I'm him? 0-1 here. This one swung on and missed. Nice rip there by Heim. Had a walk and scored a run back in the 4th inning. Heim takes time, and it's 0-2 now. Strider at 87. Got to think this is probably it for him. Think they'll let him finish off the 5th and give Chavez a chance at the 6th with a clean inning. The 0-2 pitch. Beautiful pitch. right at the bottom of the zone. That pitch has been called a strike all day. Other days, not so much, but today that pitch has been a strike, and Strider once again gets the strikeout there. But Adolis Garcia again comes through for the Rangers. 4-2 now, Texas in front. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Braves. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Rangers. And Nathan Eovaldi's going to come back out for the 6th inning. Again, he has a much more modest pitch count. We could see him pitch probably at least another couple innings, you would think, as long as he doesn't run into trouble here. But it'll be Acuna, Olson, and Albies. Top 3 in the lineup for the Braves. 3rd time through the order. So far in the game, just looking at the pitching line for Strider, we came into the game talking about the return of Corey Seager and how he'd have a pitching duel on the mound. And Strider's pitched well as far as the strikeouts, 7 strikeouts. But the 3 walks, a little bit uncharacteristic. 6 hits he's given up, a couple home runs. Both of them to Adolis Garcia. For the Rangers side of the box score, looking at Nathan Eovaldi's line, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. All of them came back to back to back to back in that 2nd inning. That's where he kind of ran into his trouble. Kind of a base hit off the end of the bat for Austin Riley, the home run by Rosario. Another base hit by d'Arnaud and Ozuna to follow, and that's all we've seen. No walks in the game, 3 strikeouts, but as I said, that 1 home run to Rosario. But 88 pitches for Strider, 59 for Eovaldi to get through 5 for each of them, so we'll see how things go. Looks like we're getting back from commercial break. Ronald Acuna due up first. And as I mentioned before the game, the Rangers... the Dallas media, anyway, having fun with Ron Washington before the game. Fond memories, anyway, of his time with the Rangers. They were asking him, how exactly do you get Ronald Acuna out right now? And he said, walk him. So, in case you guys don't know, a walk is not an out. There really is no way to get him out. So, Rangers have done well today so far, getting a couple of some weak contact on that last one from Acuna, but everything else has pretty much been right on the screws. Takes ball 1 here. Eovaldi set, and the pitch right on the inside corner there. 1-1. Acuna has a home run in 3 straight games right now. Heim sets up low and away. Check swing, unable to hold off, but I think it was a strike anyway, is Acuna, and it's now 1-2. And the pitch. Little tapper back to the screen. And it remains 1-2. Eovaldi came into the game with a 28 2/3 scoreless inning streak. Got it all the way up to 29 2/3 before that home run by Rosario. This one is another no-doubter. Acuna absolutely hammers this one out to center. Taveras tries to climb the wall and make a catch at it, but Eovaldi missed with location on that one, and that one was absolutely clobbered. 11th home run. That's 4 straight games now for Acuna. Wow. 105 off the bat. 24-mile-an-hour launch. 24 launch angle anyway. Just a great piece of hitting there. Now a 4-3 ball game. Maybe we'll see a little bit more offense as this game goes on. Nice work there by Acuna. Just got his pitch and did not miss it. Eovaldi, when he's missed location, the Braves have been right there to pounce on him. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the way. But as I mentioned, that's now 4 straight games with a home run for Ronald Acuna, whose brother is actually in the Rangers farm system, Luis Angel. 0-1 here from Eovaldi, misses well inside. 1-1 here to Matt Olson. Olson willing to work for the walk. So you got to make sure you throw some strikes here if you're the Rangers. This one lifted into center. This one off the end of the bat, though. In a few steps is Taveras making the catch, and there's one away. That one's a lot better location for Eovaldi as he continues to kind of look up, frustrated that he missed his location on that one to Acuna. He's the one guy in this lineup right now you probably don't want to throw one over the heart of the plate to, and whoops. Ozzie Albies due up next. Takes low ball one. Trying to entice the chase, but that one not close. Albies 20 extra base hits so far this season, tied for 6th in the National League. This one's off the end of the bat again, out into short right center field. Taveras is over and makes the catch. 2 away. They're making some contact. Evaldi's a little bit more of a fly ball pitcher. Has been more of a ground ball one today, as we've seen 10 ground ball outs so far today. But now it's starting to get a little bit more off the end of the bat contact here with the last 2 anyway. But cannot afford to be over the middle of the plate to a hitter like Ronald Acuna right now. And he made him pay for it. Braves cutting the deficit in half. First pitch here to Riley, off the inside corner, 1-0. Good game so far. Came in talking about the pitching matchup, and the offense has been equal to that pitching matchup so far today. Garcia now has 26 RBIs in his last 24 games, as they show us on the broadcast. Riley reached on a single in the second and then scored on that home run by Rosario. That one misses there, and it's now 2-1 as that one misses low and away. Nice off-speed pitch. Caught a little too much of the plate, I'm sure, for Evaldi's liking, but tapped foul off his foot. It's now 2-2 anyway. Evaldi looking for the third out of the inning here. The set and the pitch. Beautiful fastball, same location. A little too much of the plate, is able to power it by him though. 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer third of the plate, belt high, and just blew it right past him. Nice work there. But to the bottom half of the 6th we go. Home run by Ronald Acuna cuts the deficit to 1 for the Braves. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Atlanta. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Texas. Check in on some of the other scores from around baseball now. Looks like Seattle's coming back a little bit, but still trail by 8 runs in the 6th inning. We mentioned that the Mets had tied it 2-2. Well, now the Rays are back out in front 4-2 there. Pretty much still the same scores around the league, the rest of the scoreboard. White Sox tacked on a run, now 5-1 there. Other games have now gone final. Nope, they're all still about the same. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Put a video out today about the Corey Seager return, inviting y'all in to join us. So if you guys saw that video and joined us, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for hitting that subscribe and liking the video. It helps us out quite a bit. As I mentioned, we're not going to do a live tomorrow. We will try to do one during the day on on Friday, and then try to see what game there is out there. And then the Stars play their first round of the Western Conference Finals in the NHL, and I may do a live, but I doubt it for that one. Saturday, we'll try to go live for you guys again earlier in the day as well. We'll probably do the Colorado-Texas game at 3, so make sure you join us then on Saturday. So appreciate you guys joining us. Hit that like and subscribe if you're new here. Really does help us out. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, we would greatly appreciate it. Robbie Grossman due up first here. It looks like they are going to bring back out Spencer Strider for one more inning. A little curious here. He is at 88 pitches, so maybe they think he's got just enough bullets in that arm left to be able to get through the 6th. Or no, it is Chavez. Okay, they just haven't updated the screen. Okay. Had me wondering there for a minute. It is Chavez, 16 2/3 in 20 games so far this year, 2.16 earned run average, 20 strikeouts to 5 walks. He's been very good for them out of that bullpen. Braves bullpen as a group has been pretty good this year. Had some up and down performances at times early in the year, as you can expect from all teams. Getting swept at home by a good team in Houston. Not exactly the route they were hoping at one point, but they've certainly corrected their course correction anyway. Nice off-speed pitch. Catches the bottom of the zone. Now 1-1 here to Robbie Grossman. Worked a walk, has scored a run, had a base hit his last time up. Ezekiel Duran is due up next. This one's hit hard into left center. Coming on, nice sliding catch there by Rosario for the first out of the inning. Former Ranger in Chavez gets the first out here in the 6th. Duran has a double in the game, struck out and has an RBI. Was thrown out at home by Michael Harris when he was trying to score on the base hit from Smith, I believe. Duran looking to bunt that time. Strike called right on the outside corner, though. Not exactly sure I would bunt if I'm Ezekiel Duran. The power certainly is there. Good swing at that one. Fouled it off down the first base line. High and out of play. Quickly behind 0-2 here. Duran takes time. Get his mind right. Probably the player that benefited the most from Corey Seager being out. Nobody more than Ezekiel Duran. This one hit high in the air in right center field. Acuna takes a few steps over and makes the catch. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Nice work so far from Chavez. And it'll be up to Josh Smith to keep things going here for the Rangers. Rangers giving a much needed day off for Josh Young in this lineup right now. Smith takes strike 1. The set by Chavez and the pitch. About 3 or 4 inches off the plate and low. 1-1 is the count here. That one misses about a foot outside. Now 2-1. Smith on the year hitting .217, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. The 2-1 pitch. Off the plate inside, but nice healthy cut there by Smith. Unable to make contact. Known as more of a contact hitter in the minors. The 2-2. Right on the outside corner. Ooh. Those corners have been tough for both pitchers and hitters alike. But it's been a fairly even called zone anyway by the home plate umpire. And the Braves get the shutdown inning they were looking for. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Braves. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Rangers. We go to the 7th. Rangers in front by 1. It'll be Rosario, d'Arnaud, and Ozuna here for the Braves in the 7th. Just for frame of reference, Strider was out after 88 pitches. Eovaldi's at 74 as he's going to enter here in the 7th. I don't think we'll see the Rangers go to the bullpen. The Rangers have had all kinds of trouble with that bullpen this year. 2 guys right now sit in that bullpen, unable to be trusted right now, that are counted on in those close games late. Jose Leclerc can't throw strikes when they need him to, and Jonathan Hernandez right now is a great pitcher, but he's given up the long ball in the last few innings of his last few innings of work anyway. I think he's given up like 3 home runs in his last 2 innings of work, and so the Rangers kind of shuffled both of those guys down to the end of the bullpen. Right now, Josh Sborz is probably a little bit more trusted. He's pitched very well since coming up from the minors. John King, who came up the other day, has also pitched very well. Maybe those guys get the first crack here tonight if Eovaldi starts to run into trouble here in the 7th. Will Smith is kind of the de facto closer right now with Jose Leclerc struggling to find the strike zone. Barlow was actually called up by the Rangers today as well, or yesterday anyway, by the Rangers, and he could be an option out of the bullpen as well. He was the former closer of the Rangers last year at one point before losing his command and inability to throw strikes as well and Leclerc took his spot from him towards the end of the year. First pitch here by Eovaldi, swung on and missed, 0-1 to Rosario. This one off the outside corner, grounded off the very end of the bat to Smith, flipped on to first, one away here in the top of the 7th. Very nice day for Eovaldi, 76 pitches, 53 strikes. You can tell he likes working around that strike zone. Opponent batting average through the lineup, first time 224, second 279. The third time though, 189. That's got to be among the leaders. That one misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Swung on and missed on the inner half of the plate there, 1-1. Another off-speed pitch, able to get by d'Arnaud, looking like he's looking for a fastball there. Every single time he's come up, he's been geared up to hit the fastball early, so maybe the Rangers know the scouting report on d'Arnaud right now. The 1-2 pitch bounces in the dirt. d'Arnaud does not chase, 2-2. This will be the 81st pitch of the evening for Eovaldi. The 2-2. Swung on and missed off the outside corner, and d'Arnaud does chase this one. That's another strikeout for Eovaldi. He's up to 5 for the day. 6 2/3. He's pitched very well. Take out that second inning, and we're looking at a one-hit shutout, honestly. But that inning, of course, does happen with that 2-run home run by Rosario. Point is, Eovaldi's been very good here again tonight. Missed location with that pitch to Acuna. But other than that, he's been very good. Misses with that one low and in to Ozuna, and it's 1-0. Again, Eovaldi works very quickly. The set and the pitch right on the outside corner. Another off-speed pitch finds the zone, and it's now 1-1. Ozuna did reach on a single back in the second. The 1-1 pitch. Hit hard, but well foul down the third base line. 1-2 is the count. Eovaldi looking for the strikeout here. Ozuna hitting 178, 8 homers, 14 RBIs. As we mentioned, coming into the game, has 6 home runs in his last 9 games. That one misses about a foot low and away, 2-2. Ozuna does not chase this one. Another one beneath the zone. It's now 3-2. Full count here. Eovaldi missing his location with that one a little bit. The set by Eovaldi. And the pitch. Well inside. Eovaldi does not walk many people, but this time does give up the 2-out walk. Unhappy with that one. Curious to see if we might see Mike Maddux come out of the dugout here. Up to 87 pitches. That's his first walk of the game. One thing the Rangers pitching staff really has done well this year is limit the walks outside of that bullpen. Their starters have performed very well at avoiding those. This one misses well outside, 1-0. Orlando Arcia at the plate right now. He represents the go-ahead run if he were to connect with one. Tying run is at first base. Rangers bullpen does at least start to jump around a little bit and get a little loose. Another one misses low and away, and wonder if we see a mound visit here. Looks like we are going to see one, at least from Heim. Curious to see if they'll bring Mike Maddux as well. Maybe just want to slow things down for Eovaldi. Looks like he's kind of overthrowing here just a little bit. Mike Maddux does stay in the dugout for this one. It's just going to be between Heim and Eovaldi. Heim's a very good receiver of the baseball, not to mention a really good hitting catcher, which is a rarity in the league right now. Maybe Heim's just letting him know, hey, you're just overthrowing just a little bit. Slow it down just a little bit. In his last 4 starts, Eovaldi's thrown 32 innings and 0.84 earned run average. The set and the pitch. Right on the outside corner. Nice swing there by Arcia, though. But still unable to make contact. 2-1 now. That one just misses off the inside corner. Now 3-1. Looks like it is Spores who gets the first test out there in the bullpen, loosening up a little bit quickly now. And another one just beneath the zone. Back-to-back walks here for Eovaldi. Will we see a mound visit or will we see a pitching change? Or they just let him go one more? It is Michael Harris. He has pitched very well against him so far today. Harris is 0 for 2. Had that great play in, looks like we will have another mound visit here. But he did have that great play earlier to cut down a run at the plate. Looks like Mike Maddox is coming out of the dugout just to have a word here. Maybe give some time to Spores. We'll see. Eovaldi at 92 pitches, but once he starts missing location, giving up walks, that's something you don't really see from him. So that's when you know he's starting to feel the strain a little bit. Thrown 18 pitches here in the 7th. That's the most in any inning so far today, including that 2-run second inning. Through 17 back in that second inning. Harris is struggling on the year, so this might be the final batter for Eovaldi one way or the other. Acuna, who hit that rocket off of him last time, is waiting in the on-deck circle. Last thing you want is to walk another guy and then load him with back-to-back-to-back walks in front of Acuna, the 7, 8, and 9 guys. First pitch here, right off the end of the bat, right to Garcia in right, and we don't have to worry about Acuna coming up to face Eovaldi. Got to think that's going to be it for Eovaldi as we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Nice swing there by Harris, but just off the end of the bat. Good hard contact, but just not able to get it down in time in front of Garcia. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Taveras, Semien, and Seager for the Rangers. Taveras has had a nice day at the plate, 1 for 1. A walk and an RBI. Semien and Seager 0 for 3 so far. No strikeouts, though. Would like to see both of them get on the score sheet today if you're a Rangers fan. Seager especially in his debut from the injured list. Appreciate you guys joining us. If you're just joining us for the first time, thank you guys. Hit that subscribe button, like the video. It really does help us out. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, we would greatly appreciate it. It is stretch time in Arlington. Just going to check in on a couple of the scores while we wait for this commercial break. Looks like the Game Day app was wrong earlier. It looked like they had 4 runs for Seattle. It's now 3. So I guess it's 3-12 against Boston there. Rays have extended their lead now 5-2 over the Mets. St. Louis has tacked on a couple. It's now 3-0 there over the Brewers. Yanks and Blue Jays are still scoreless in the 9th now. Looks like they might be headed towards extra innings if they don't score on the 9th. And then the rest of the score sheet looks about the same. Cubs are still winning 6-1 over Houston in the 6th inning there. In the 6th inning in Chicago, 6-1. White Sox over the Guardians at the moment. Looks like all the other games that were final before are still the same. Going to watch every Rangers game if possible. Well, I try to watch just about every game I can anyway. I try to do this with you guys, try to mix it up with different teams though. Try not to cover just one team or another, but I am in Texas, so I know I get a lot of Rangers and Astros fans. I get a fair amount of Cubs, Dodgers, Padres, and Braves fans as well. Yankees fans, because I did a lot of videos on Aaron Judge during the winter anyway. I got quite a few Yankees and Mets fans because of DeGrom, etc. Tavares swings and misses at that one. It's now 2-1. Chavez out for his second inning of work. The 2-1. Another off-speed pitch. Pretty much down the middle, unable to make contact as Tavares, and it's now 2-2. Looks like A.J. Minter, the lefty, is loosening in that bullpen. Presumably to face Corey Seager and Nathaniel Lowe. The 3-2 pitch here to Tavares. Swung on and missed. Unable to catch up with that one. Fouled off into the glove of d'Arnaud. And that's the first out here in the 7th. You're invested in every team because of cards. That's a good way to stay attached to all of them. Marcus Semien up 0 for 3 so far today, hitting .291 on the year. Takes a called strike just off the outside corner, but sometimes those have been called, sometimes not today. It's not too far out. Today's attendance at the Rangers game, 30,000 for the return of Corey Seager. It's a good matchup too, though, against the Atlanta Braves. Not often they come to town, but they will every year from now on with the schedule changes Major League Baseball has made. Those two have now both missed. That one looked like the closest of the three, but in either event, it's now 2-1 here. One guy that I'm watching is Jarren Duran of the Red Sox. Yeah. He's an interesting one. That one's over. It's now 2-2. He is having a great year. Didn't start the year there like he was expected to anyway. But he certainly earned his playing time. This one's hammered into left center field. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. This one's going to be a double at least for Semien. He's going to go for third. Is he going to be able to get there? He is. Without the relay, just didn't get there in time. They didn't even try to throw it the rest of the way. And nice triple there to get things going here in the 7th for the Rangers. He's fired up about that one. Just the hustle. He saw where that ball was as he got to second base and just turned on the afterburners. Nice hustle there by Marcus Semien. And Corey Seager will be next. I imagine we're going to see a pitching change here with A.J. Minter coming in. Especially with the two lefties coming up in the lineup. Try to keep this game close. If you're Brian Snitker, the manager of the Atlanta Braves. Seager 0 for 3 on the day. We will see a pitching change here. Minter is coming on. He looks a lot like Craig Kimbrell did when he first broke in with the Atlanta Braves. Just very similar looking pitchers. At least physically anyway. You know, Craig Kimbrell had the hunched over with the arm out to the side and all that kind of a thing. That's a little different, but as far as just looking at them running in from the bullpen, very similar look. Yeah, the Rangers this season are 8-1-1 as far as series so far. They've only lost one series and tied another and won 8 out of the 10 series they've played so far this year. If they win this one, that'll be another feather in their cap against another really good team. They got a little bit poorer of a team coming in after this in the Rockies, but you still got to clean up against them. Will Smith does great when I'm not watching, so I'm concerned. Yeah, true. Well, if you're watching the stream, you're technically not watching, so I don't think it counts. So you're good. So keep watching the stream. That'll be your good luck charm. Looks like we're about to get out of a commercial break here. Big spot here for Seager. If he can at least lift one to the outfield, even if it's not a base hit, be a successful day at the plate for him. going 0 for 3 with an RBI and a sac fly, but the Rangers would like to see him a little bit more than that, I'm sure. Semien is on third after that hustle triple into that left center field gap. First pitch here. This one's lifted into dead center field, and this one's going to get... Oh, I thought it was going to get over the head of Harris. Nice running catch there by Harris, robbing Seager of extra bases. Whew. Harris takes a deep sigh of relief there, but the job is done. Seager gets the insurance run for the Rangers across. It's now 5-3 Texas. Just absolutely hit right on the screws. Seager looks like he's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable at the plate now. But that took every bit of hustle from Michael Harris. That one bounced around in his glove, it looked like, when he tried to reach back for that one too. But in either event, the bases are now clear. 5-3 is the score. This one misses up and away, ball one. Minter in 20 games this year, 19 innings, 8.05 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 6 walks. That one misses off the outside corner, 2-0. That was a pretty darn good catch, but I'm more excited for what this means for Corey Seager going forward, making sure he feels comfortable at the plate. One thing we've seen from him over the years is that he likes to ambush the ball early in the count. Nice stab there by Minter, robbing Lowe of at least that one going back to the middle infielders, but in either event he is retired. We go to the 8th, 5-3 Texas, and I imagine this is probably it for Eovaldi. I doubt we'll see him come out of the dugout, but if he does, he's pitched a good game today. Gave up all 3 runs on the home run, 2 runs on the 2-run shot by Rosario back in the 2nd, and the solo home run by Acuna back in the 6th. It'll be Acuna, Olsen, and Albies here in the 8th. But I imagine we'll see probably Josh Sborz out of the bullpen for the Rangers. Maybe they go with a lefty. We shall see. One thing about Sborz is he's pitched very well. Rangers have known he has had a very electric arm all through his career. The question was he able to locate his pitches? If he is, he's on. If he's not able to throw those for a strike, then he's a very hittable pitcher. And you can lay off those breaking balls that are well outside of the zone. But when he's able to find the strike zone, when he's able to locate his pitches, that's when he is on. So we'll see how quickly the Rangers are able to recognize if he is on or off today and whether or not they make a move one way or the other. But in either event, it looks like they are bringing in Josh Sborz. As I mentioned, Acuna had that home run back in the 6th. His 4th home run in his last 4 games. He's been great. Looks like we're just about to get back from commercial break here. Showing the montage right now on the Rangers broadcast of both the exploits of Garcia, who has 2 home runs in the game for the Rangers. Acuna, Eovaldi, and then Strider with all the strikeouts. It's been a very well-played game. Will Smith, the Redeemer. Alrighty. Here we go. Acuna versus Sborz. We'll see who wins. The set and the pitch. Off-speed pitch right on the outside corner. Great pitch. 0-1. Just look at the movement on that pitch. That's why you can tell when he is on how hard he's going to be able to hit. But if he is missing location, that's when you run into trouble. That one unable to entice the swing. Nice tight slider there off the outside corner by about 3 or 4 inches. Not really that competitive, but all that movement on there at least enticed a check swing from Acuna. 1-1. Fastball. No, they're going to go say cutter, I guess, off the outside corner. Missed by about 4 inches there. Another one not so competitive. Looks like they're not going to give him a chance to really get into one here. That one bounces all the way to the backstop. 3-1. Last thing you want to do with a pitcher like this is when he struggles with command is to have him force him to throw around a big hitter like this, because then it can generate bad habits. Then you can see some wild pitches and those kinds of things. The 3-1 here. Now another 4 or 5 inches off the plate. Not even a competitive at bat there for Sborz. Didn't really want to mess around with Acuna, but he's going to be on the base paths now. He does have a lot of speed. It'll be Matt Olson at the plate. Welcome in. Appreciate you for joining us, God's Child. Appreciate it. Olson is the hitter. Curveball he's been able to locate just fine. Another one right on the inner half of the plate. 0-1. One swing here from Olson, though, could tie this game up. And the great play that the Rangers have played, or the great pitching that they got from Eovaldi for 7 innings, all for naught. But we shall see what happens. The 0-1, well off the outside corner. Kind of a pitch out, and this one goes into center field. As Acuna got a great jump on that one. Yeesh. The throw was not that far offline. It just kind of skimmed on the ground, and Duran was not able to get the glove on it. Bullpen has to hold up. I'm right there with you. Now, we got quite a few Rangers fans. Oh! What a foul ball right off the home plate umpire. Says he got it in the shoulder. Heim heard the impact of that one and spun around as fast as you could possibly spin around to make sure he was okay. So far this year, Matt Olson with runners in scoring position, a 159 average, a triple, 2 homers, 15 RBIs, and 20 strikeouts. The 1-2 from Sborz popped foul. Another 9. Oh, are they going to have a play at it? Nope. That one's about 2 rows back over the bullpen there. Or not over the bullpen, but over the seating area. Under the netting, anyway. Looks like Brock Burke is loosening out in the bullpen for the Rangers. The lefty, should they need him. The 1-2 pitch. That one's about 1.5 feet high. It's now 2-2, excuse me. Remember the 3 batter minimum. Sborz is going to at least have to face Albies. 2-2 pitch here by Sborz. Nice fastball, right, or they're going to say cutter at the top of the zone. Just pure paint right there. First out of the inning. When Sborz is on, he is very electric. Look at that pitch location. Don't think that's where he wanted to go with that one, but that was just painted. Another curveball. That's 3 straight hitters. He started out with the curveball. This one finds the zone on Albies. Now 0-1. Albies hitting 271 on the year, 3 doubles. Or excuse me, 271 with runners in scoring position. Another curveball. This one beneath the zone, but swung on and missed by Albies. Chase there. With runners in scoring position, hitting 271, 3 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, and 19 RBIs. Appreciate all you guys joining us right now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. The 0-2 pitch to Albies. Hard hit into right field. This could score the run. Looks like it will score the run. Acuna will score without a throw. Albies gets the run home. And once again, the deficit is cut in half by a run scored by Acuna. Nice work there by Albies. That one just caught way too much of the plate. Middle essentially there to Albies. It'll be Austin Riley next. Again, that electric arm, good and bad things about it. This one's another off-speed pitch on the outer half of the plate. 0-1. Looks like he hasn't been throwing that fastball very much so far here today. Working with a lot of off-speed stuff. As the broadcast mentioned, Riley did sign that 10-year deal with Atlanta. He'll be there for a very long time. Matt Olson signed the extension. Most of this team is pretty much locked up right now. There's only a few players that are very important to this roster, like Max Fried, that are not locked up, and we should see the Braves try to extend those contracts before the end of the season. The 0-2 here, lifted into right center. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. This will probably tie the game, as Albies is certainly hustling. This one is going to be cut off there, and it will be a brand new ball game. 5-5 is the score as Sborz gives it up here in the 8th. Ouch. Just another pitch that caught way too much of the plate. That one right down the middle. Bochy looks like he's going to make a pitching change. With the lefty coming up. Ouch. Sborz, who had pitched very well to begin of the year, has only had really one bad outing, but he was pulled quickly because they noticed his location was off. His location hasn't really been that far off, but he's missing, when he does miss, he's missing in the middle of the plate to the last couple of hitters there. And extra base hits are not your friend if you're a bullpen guy. And we got a brand new ball game. Again, the Rangers bullpen coughs it up. I was just kind of messing around. You guys can probably see on my screen the trade simulator, baseball trade values.com anyway. Great site if you guys want to see about making some trades that actually could happen, not just 2K type trades. But the White Sox, for instance, are a team that I expect to probably be a seller if they stay this low in the standings as we get closer to the trade deadline. I think the Rangers would be wise to try to go out there and skim the market right now to see what they can do. I'm right there with you. This bullpen has been bad over the last month. I mean, the first 3 weeks of the season, they were virtually unhittable. They were fantastic. Leclerc was great. Hernandez was great. Everything was clicking out of the bullpen. Only spots in the bullpen that they probably could have used a little bit of an improvement was the last two guys at the end of the bench in the bullpen who were there for mop-up duty, and that's it. Guys like Ian Kennedy. Well, Ian Kennedy is no longer there, and it's guys like Leclerc. It's guys like Hernandez that are struggling. Sborz was one of the guys that was called up to replace Ian Kennedy. Now we see him get roughed up a little bit. We've seen Burke blow a game against the Angels. We've seen Will Smith blow a couple of games anyway. One against the Oakland A's, and there was another one, I want to say, against Seattle. Anyway, but in either event, pretty much every piece in that bullpen has had their bad game or two. Ragans, for a moment, was really great in the beginning of the season. Didn't pitch for like 9 straight days. In his first game back from that, he really struggled, and so they finally got back in to the swing of things and started pitching a little bit better. But this bullpen absolutely needs some improvement right now, and I don't know where it's going to come from. They brought up Barlow, they brought up King, they brought up Sborz. You just saw Sborz give up the lead here. There's just a whole lot of searching for answers right now. I don't think they have a lot of actual answers in that bullpen right now. I think they need at least 2 relievers at the deadline, and then they can probably try to, get this thing the way it needs to go. If they want to go to Kansas City, a team that's expected to be a seller at the deadline, and say, hey, we'll go ahead and try to take Aroldis Chapman right now. Not saying that's the guy I would go for, but you need some bullpen help somewhere. And Rangers cough up another one here. Nice off-speed pitch on the outside corner there. Pilar has come on to pinch hit here for Rosario. With the lefty coming in, the lefty in the lineup goes out, and they bring in Pilar. Pilar hit a 2-run home run in the game in game 1 anyway. This one off the end of the bat, grounded to third, chases the runner back, and on to first, and the runner is retired. Second out of the inning, it'll be d'Arnaud next. We'll go over some of the possibilities as far as bullpen options for the Rangers, for you Rangers fans out there here after this half inning. But it's a brand new ball game. The bullpen once again coughs up a lead late. 2 runs have already come in here for the Braves to tie it here at 5. Adolis Garcia has 2 home runs in the game. Ronald Acuna has been electric for the Braves, scoring a couple of runs, one in the 6th, one in the 8th. Albies just scored the most recent run on the double by Austin Riley. The 0-1 here by Burke. High and away, 1-1. The The 1-1 pitch from Burke. This one finishes beneath the zone. Missed badly with his location on that one. It's now 2-1. As I mentioned, Burke's had his rough outings out there too, not nearly to the extent of some of the others out there, but he isn't necessarily as dominant as he was last year, just looking at his numbers on the season. His ERA right now sits at 3.63. Spores had come into the game pitching around a 2.1. ERA is up to a 3.6 with the inning or a third of an inning pitched and a couple runs in. You can see that pitching line there by Eovaldi, all for naught. 2-2 here from Burke. Swung on and missed. Nice off-speed pitch there from Burke at the bottom of the zone. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-5, a brand new ball game in Texas. Well, as I mentioned, we were kind of messing around a little bit before the game on the site baseballtradevalues.com. Rangers absolutely need to get some bullpen, so let's go ahead and get them up here first. One team that I mentioned could be in store here for you guys would be the White Sox. And Joe Kelly has been nothing short of dominant for them. He's making a fair share of money this year for them. And the White Sox are looking to trim some cash if they're out of the race. And so if they're able to save some money, they would love to do so. He's got an option after this year as well. But his money, I think, is around $8 million this year, or $6 to $8 million, somewhere in there. But he's had a great year. He would be one guy I would really want if I'm a Rangers fan. The other guy I want is Liam Hendriks. He hasn't pitched yet, but once he's able to demonstrate that he's healthy and can throw well, he would be one guy I absolutely want. If I can find him, of course. There he is. As you can see, his value isn't too high right now. So these are very modest contracts that they are modest values that they could bring in right now, mainly because of the health issue around Hendriks and the contract around Kelly is why you could see something like this help them. But yeah, he is a cancer survivor. He just was declared cancer-free, I believe. So I do like him as well. But I liked him before that. He was a dominant pitcher. He's been one of the most consistent pitchers out of the bullpen as well. And one thing I really like about both Kelly and Hendriks is that when they're on, they do not give up walks. And this bullpen has been terrible about walking hitters and letting them get ahead in counts and just causing bad things to happen. Bringing in guys like this would kind of put a stop to that kind of thing and allow those pitchers who are struggling with those issues time to either solve them or move on. So let's kind of get this trade going real quick before this inning gets going here. The Rangers, I would probably put in a guy like Jose Leclerc in this type of a deal. Give somebody for the White Sox to see if they can build something around. Leclerc has an out in his contract after this year anyway, so if he doesn't rebound the rest of the season with the White Sox and rebuild his value, then they could easily move on from him. Outside of that, you don't need to include a lot of salary or a lot of potential here. So we'll go ahead and go all levels. But something like a guy like Cole Winn, for instance, 4.1 value might be something that really catches the eye. A starting pitcher for the future for them. Adolis Garcia lifts this one up high into the air. Olsen is there and makes the catch on the infield grass for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Nick Anderson has come on, 16 games out of the bullpen for the Braves, 17 in the third innings, 3.12 earned run average, 20 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a 194 opponent batting average. We'll get back to this trade here in just a moment. Jonah Heim trying to keep that, keep everything going for him. He's been fantastic as of late. Needs a base hit here to really to extend his hitting streak, though. 0-1 takes this one well outside, 1-1. This one misses well in, or well, I say well inside, a few inches off the plate inside. Now 2-1, exactly where you want to be if you're Jonah Heim. Getting ahead in the count here, looking for a pitch to drive. He has had some big swings today, and he has had a lot of power in that bat. Don't necessarily want to sell out for that power, but the Rangers need a run here in the bottom of the 8th. That one just misses off the outside corner. Now 3-1. I doubt they'll lift him for a pinch or a pinch runner if he reaches on a walk here. That one just off the outside corner, and Heim looks like he's going to have his hitting streak snapped here, but does reach on the walk here in the bottom of the 8th. Robbie Grossman coming up next. One away, one out. Anyway, here in the bottom of the 8th. Looks like they do leave Heim in there at first base to run. Nice breaking ball over the heart of the plate there. 0-1 here to Grossman. Grossman 1 for 2, I believe, today with a walk. Yep. 5 home runs on the year. Nice off-speed pitch gets Grossman out in front. It's now 0-2. This one's down in the dirt. 1-2 now. Nice block there by d'Arnaud. Getting a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs would be more than ideal right now for the Rangers. Base hit here by Grossman could do it. The 1-2 pitch. Beautiful pitch. Dotted the outside corner. Letter high. Just great pitch there by Nick Anderson. One of the more modest signings of this offseason. One of the earliest signings of this offseason. After he was let go by the Rays in a little bit of a surprising move. Signed for like $800,000 with the Braves as they kind of rebuilt the back end of this bullpen just to try to give themselves some versatility back there, and they've done very well with the pieces they've got. It'll be up to Ezekiel Duran, who's hit very well so far today, or so far this season anyway, but lifts this one high into the air right over home plate, and this one in foul territory is caught by the catcher. That's the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the 9th, 5-5, our score. Ouch. Looks like we will see Will Smith coming on. But let's kind of go back to this trade here. We mentioned that the guys we're trying to bring in this type of a trade to help fix the Rangers bullpen, the one that just coughed up the 2-run lead in the 8th anyway, bringing in a couple of guys who have a long track record of success of not walking guys, striking guys out, and they're having good years. So Joe Kelly really fits that to a T right now. Is not going to cost a lot. The White Sox want to save some salary, and they shed a ton of salary by getting rid of Hendricks and Kelly. Now the Rangers, they give up Leclerc, so they're sending a little bit of salary back the other way. You don't necessarily want them to get into the tax thresholds and all that kind of a thing. But Leclerc is having a down year. If he's able to rebound in the second half of the year, the White Sox could have a piece for next year. He does have the out in his contract for the club. Whereas the Rangers, they also have an out in Kelly's contract. Now Hendricks, he hasn't pitched yet this year, but the track record of success, the consistency that he has over the last 3 years, second to none in Major League Baseball. And they need some consistency out there. So Hendricks, while he's still probably going to need some time to get back to the major leagues and get back into the swing of things, Kelly could go into the bullpen right now and solve things. But the White Sox are trying to get back into contention in that AL Central. We'll see if they're able to do it, but this might be a trade we revisit around the trade deadline quite a bit. But Leclerc would be one piece I have going out. They need to free up a spot in the bullpen anyway, so that would be one piece I send out if I'm the Rangers. The other one would be a piece that intrigues the White Sox, something that they could at least say, hey, this is the trade that got us this prospect. Cole Winn, a former top prospect, former high draft pick, that really doesn't have a way to the big leagues right now, kind of stalled out at AAA level, could be a guy going the other way. The Rangers have tons of options like this. We mentioned Kumar Rocker's injury. They don't really need the top-end starters out of their system right now because of the level of starting pitching that they've gotten this year. Brock Burke is out here in the 9th here. Doesn't look like they're going to go to Will Smith yet, but it looks like he is ready when necessary. Ozuna is at the plate. The count is now 1-1 as that one just misses off the outside corner. For some reason, the home plate umpire was set up on the so far inside on Ozuna, it wasn't even funny. The 1-1 pitch. Lifted foul, and it's now 1-2. There you see the walk-off hit for the Blue Jays. 3-0. Looks like they beat the New York Yankees on a walk-off 3-run home run. But here in our game is tied 5-5. Braves got out to a great start, 2-0 lead in the top of the second. Rangers put up 3 in the bottom of the fourth. Adolis Garcia hit a home run there. Adolis Garcia has 2 home runs in the game so far today. Acuna scored a couple of runs. He hit a home run for his 4th straight game. This one misses north of the zone. 2-2 now on Ozuna. Rangers tacked another run on by the sacrifice fly from Corey Seager in his first game back in over a month. And then the Braves got to the Rangers bullpen after Eovaldi comes out. They give up 2 in the 8th. Josh Sborz giving it up there, and Brock Burke came in to shut things down. And here is where we are. 2-2 here. 2-2 count anyway on Ozuna in the top of the 9th. 5-5 our score. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors apiece. Brand new ball game. The 2-2 pitch popped up straight up over home plate, and this one looks like it's going to get back out of play by about 2 rows as we see a fan lose his entire thing of nachos on another fan in the row in front of him. Great ballparks to catch a game at, both Truist Park in Atlanta, Globe Life Field in Arlington. So if you're a fan of both the Braves or of either one of them, Braves or the Rangers, you might want to catch yourself a game. Great way to watch a ball game. This one's fouled off the foot as he takes a long walk around, kind of limping around, is Ozuna. This one off the top of his back foot. So his right foot there. Looks like he's not trying to put pressure on his toes right now. And kind of shaking it off still. Count is still 2-2 here. The set by Burke. And the pitch. Another one popped up foul. Remains 2-2 again. Burke up to 15 pitches, but former starter, former long reliever anyway. He's got plenty of bullets in that arm. If he's able to record the out here, you'd like to see him go through the entire 9th here if you're a Rangers fan. Nice hard hit ball down the third base line, but foul. And we'll do it again. Appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you're new here to the Upside. 5-5 our score here in the 9th. The pitch hit high into the air, but dead center field. A few steps in comes Taveras and makes the catch. 1 away. Good at bat there by Ozuna. It'll be Arcia due next. Swung on and missed. A little bit of a chase there by Arcia. Braves do have Murphy on the bench that they could go to as a pinch hitter. He's had a very good year for Atlanta. This one's hit hard into deep right center field. Going back on it at the wall and gone. Burke gives up the home run there to Arcia, and he continues his hot swinging ways. And the Braves take a 6-5 lead, driving a dagger into the Rangers fans' hearts. Ouch. Ouch. 399 foot, 100 mile an hour off the bat. Oh. Just into that Rangers bullpen. He got all of that one. Just not a good series for the Rangers bullpen here. That one right on the outside corner, strike 1. Just giving up the long ball, giving up some walks. Just however you can think of the Rangers are blowing games, that's how they're doing it. It's not just one way. They're just finding ways to lose games out of the back end of that bullpen, and it just continues. Burke quickly ahead here. 0-2 here on Harris. Well outside, 1-2. Just, I don't know where you start if you're a Rangers fan. Your offense came through, got you 5 runs against one of the best starters in all of Major League Baseball. Swung on and missed, and Burke gets the strikeout there, 2 away. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change from Bochy. We'll see if they go with Smith here to face Acuna. Just I don't know where you start here if you're the Rangers. That bullpen, we've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. At a certain point, the weakest point on this team, looks like they're going to go with Barlow to make his season debut, Astros score a run there in the bottom of the 8th, 6-2 against the Cubs, but Rangers should not have had this game get to this point at this point. The bullpen failing once again, falling on their face. I understand it's a good team. I get that. And they've got a good lineup. But they've struggled with the bats so far this year. And the pieces that you knew were problems coming in gave you problems late in the game. Acuna getting on. Arcia's had a good year, and you let him just hit a home run. Just not executing the way you would expect this bullpen to execute. Now, if Barlow can come up and be the Barlow that we saw at the beginning part of last year, not the last half of the year, if he can get back to those ways, well, then maybe he could be an option for some late inning work. But right now, the Rangers are just scrambling for answers, and right now I've found zero, and I mean zero. They've tried using Brock Burke in a long relief role. He's excelled at that. Then when their other, middle relievers, late inning relievers struggle, they put him into that role, and he's struggled himself. They just can't find anybody for that 8th, 9th inning role for low-scoring games, 1, 2-run leads. That's the issue in the Rangers team right now as a whole. Their lineup's been great, one of the best scoring lineups in all the majors. Their rotation's been pretty darn good, even without Jacob deGrom for the last 3 weeks or so. And it's just this bullpen that once again lets them down. I mean, we're talking about a team that's probably threatening for the best record in all of baseball right now if they could just solve some of these bullpen issues. Barlow in 11 games at AAA Round Rock, 13 2/3 innings, a 2.63 earned run average. Remember, he's not an overpowering righty, but he is very effective with his location. So as long as he's not walking guys, you should be doing well. But first pitch here, right on the outside corner here to Acuna. And again, more paint here. Nice pitch there. Quickly 0-2. Acuna solo home run, a walk, stolen base, scored a couple of runs. He's definitely been an engine for this lineup. That one misses low and away, unable to entice the chase. 1-2. Two outs here in the top of the 9th, but the damage has been done on the Arcia home run. It's now 6-5 after the Rangers had a 5-3 lead going into the top of the 8th. That one misses by about an inch at the top of the zone. Now 2-2. This one right down Broadway, off speed, kind of tapped off the catcher and off the home plate umpire. Lands in the field of play, but still going to remain 2-2 for the time being. Looks like Iglesias is loose out in that bullpen, the closer for the Braves. He's been great for them. Coming over in that trade from the Angels anyway, when they still had Kenley Jansen, they said, hey, we want another closer because Jansen was on a 1-year deal. And so they got their closer for this year now. Acuna lifts this one high and deep into center field. Onto the track is Taveras, but he has room and makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup for the Rangers. It'll be Smith, Taveras, and Semien. Seager in the hole, or in the cleanup spot this inning anyway. But curious to see what they decide to do with Smith. Do they bring in Josh Young off the bench? Do they let Smith hit? Got a couple of options there. Taveras, I don't expect them to pinch hit for, and then they get around to the top half of the lineup. But let's kind of finish off this idea with the trade simulator here. We're just going to go ahead and throw a win in there. Just go ahead and finish it off. We're going to validate the trade. It's a minor overpay, but who cares? The White Sox get a little bit more positive value while we take on supposed negative value. I don't think they've updated it yet for Kelly's great start to the year, but this is a type of a trade that I could see working for both sides. So Rangers fans, you need some bullpen help. There's some bullpen help for you. The question is, can it get here fast enough? And I don't think the White Sox are going to give up on their season so quickly. I think if you want this type of a trade, you're probably going to have to wait till July to get it. And so kind of, grab both sides of that chair, hold on for dear life, and hopefully the Rangers bullpen doesn't blow too many games until then. There are some really good hitters in the league this year. Offense is up across the league a little bit this year. But the Rangers blowing this many late leads in games is not based on the offense as a whole being better across the league. Then we would see bullpens across the major leagues having these same type of issues. But we're seeing 3 runs being scored in the 8th and 9th innings of close games almost every single night now over the last month for the Rangers. It's not exactly a great trend. Sure, they get the odd performance where they perform well. They've gotten a lot better starter performances as they've gotten deeper into games. Eovaldi specifically has gotten complete games a couple of times or close to it a couple of times. And things just not looking good. For the Braves, though, their offense, it looks like it's starting to come around, starting to be a little bit more productive, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for them. Iglesias on the year, 4 games so far, a 3.1 ER, 3 1/3 innings pitched, a 10 earned run average, but does have 1 save, a 375 batting average against. I think we saw him pitch against the Orioles last weekend. It does look like Josh Smith will be out there first. Remember, Iglesias signed that big contract with the Angels. Then they decided, hey, we don't want to pay that deal, especially with the struggles he had with location there in Anaheim. So they moved him on to the Braves. That one misses outside, ball 1. And this one misses outside, ball 2. A little higher that time, but it's now 2-0. Josh Smith, a good on-base guy, so a good guy to have up there as a leadoff option here in the 9th, I suppose. Has a single in the game. That one misses well outside, now 3-0. I expect him to put this bat on his shoulder and literally glue it there for the 3-0. That one does hit the outside corner, 3-1. Got some speed coming up behind him as well. Smith reached on a infield single earlier, showing his speed as well. The 3-1. Lifted into the air. This will not get the job done. A little bit surprised he swung at this one, but it was a hittable pitch. But instead just literally golfs it out into left field for the first out. But the Rangers offense did their job tonight. Spencer Strider was the opponent. They did their job, got 5 runs across, and just couldn't count on that bullpen once again. Taveras is up next. 301 average, a home run, 14 RBIs, and a 783 OPS. Has a walk, a single, and an RBI tonight. Swings and misses at this one outside. 0-1. Semien waits on deck. The pitch. This one's fouled off of the catcher there. And it's quickly 0-2 now to Taveras. I'd expect Iglesias to try to make him chase here. Or do they want to go right after him with the big boys waiting on deck? The 0-2. Changeup, just tried to make him chase there. Good movement on it, but not enough to entice the swing. 1-2. That one misses off the outside corner. Now 2-2. Would love to get Tavares' speed on the base paths. The 2-2 pitch. This one's rolled over to Olson, flips on to Iglesias, makes the catch, puts the foot on the base, and there's 2 away. Semien will be the last chance here for the Rangers. As Iglesias starts to get comfortable again this season. This is only his 5th outing of the year. Semien again hit that triple his last time up. Would really love to see, some fireworks here from the Rangers. See if they can rescue the team from the bullpen collapse once again. This one right at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. Barksdale's working behind the plate. Has had a low strike zone all game, so that pitch has been pretty consistent. That one misses outside, 1-1. Semien hitting .295 on the year, 7 homers, 35 RBIs. The 1-1. Off speed on the outside corner, fouled down the first base line, out of play. 1-2. Rangers are down to their final strike. Iglesias looking for his 2nd save of the season. The 1-2. Misses about 10 inches high on the inner half of the plate, and it's now 2-2. The set and the pitch. Another one in about the same spot, but Semien is able to hold up according to the first base umpire. It's now 3-2. Corey Seager waiting on deck. It does look like his bat went around. Rangers got lucky on that one. The 3-2. Swung on and missed, foul tip right into the glove. And that'll do it. Iglesias gets his 2nd save of the season. Rangers lose only their 2nd series of the season by a score of 6-5 here on Wednesday evening. Appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you guys for hitting that like and subscribe. Really does help us out. And again, make sure you join us later on this week as we do some more baseball coverage for you guys on Friday and Saturday. Thank you guys again for a very successful year. And for those of you who've been watching this game, just kind of recap it for you. Player of the game for the Braves, got to be Ronald Acuna. Just the spark plug that he is, really got things going in that 6th inning for them with that home run. Sure, the Rangers tacked on another one to make it 5-3, but it was once again Ronald Acuna in that 8th inning that got the job done for them to get this offense really going. And then Arcia gets that go-ahead home run in the 9th. Rangers bullpen blows it once again. Brock Burke with the loss, but Spores gave up 2 in that 8th. Burke gave up that home run to Arcia in the 9th. And just more question marks for the Rangers bullpen than answers. Meanwhile, the Braves, their offense finally comes through a little bit. Their offense looks like it's starting to come together with a little bit greater consistency. 8 hits in the game today, 6 runs. Iglesias is back out there in that bullpen. They should start to get things rolling in that direction. But again, for the Rangers, the bullpen collapse is the story for them. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Hank, for joining us here tonight. And we'll see you guys again Friday. Y'all have a good one.